Where is he? But I
Oh
think
dear.
we got through it.
We
It's
did get
fine.
through it. And we're live, by the way.
Oh,
Oh, awesome!
Oh
That
dear.
was so professional from you.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? So, welcome, folks. If it was absolutely professional, it wouldn't be BSTV, would it? So, welcome, folks. This is week 12 of the Backfire Simsport TV TCR Challenge Cup Season 20. This is the season finale. We're at Mid Ohio, and this is the Jaycaulls Track Guide Endurance Season Finale. In acknowledgement of Jay's fantastic contribution to this season's broadcasts, where he's been an absolute brilliant addition to the booth. I am Pete Bingham, and in the booth with me is obviously the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Corley. Good evening.
good evening, Pete. I hope you're having a fantastic afternoon and evening so far.
Oh, always, always. It's only going to get better because we have got a real show for everybody that's watching this evening, and there's plenty of people watching, actually. I quite like that. It's attracted lots of people. Also in the booth is another legend, Sam Boozing. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Pete, Jay. And you did well on getting yourself back on track, calling me a legend as well.
Of course, always. Right, Mid-Ohio. Before we get on to the cars and the standings and what is going on in the league at the minute, because this is probably the most nail-biting finish we've had for a number of seasons. We are at Mid-Ohio. This is a track of many, many challenges, and we've been here so many times, and it's never failed to deliver so far. Sam, Mid-Ohio, what's that corner called? Is it Keyhole? Is it Keyhole?
Oh, don't ask me the corner names. I just know
the
Spa
hairpin.
and most of the Nürburgring Nordschleife, but the other one doesn't exist for me.
Yeah. So.
And I know there's a Le Mans somewhere in Sebring, but that's it.
Yeah, true. So we've got China Beach, we've got the S's, we've got Thunder Valley, we've got the Carousel, as we have on every American track. And we've got Keyhole, which is that hairpin at the end of the long straight that you can see there, or at the start of the very, very long straight with the kink in it. This one we've been racing for ages. It seems to have been around forever, and we've got the chance of rain, but it's only 1% chance apparently, according to the way that the weather worked. What do you reckon for this? It's a great track for an end of season, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's an awesome track for any time in the season, but especially on a last race, endurance race. It is even better. And pit lane entry is a bit tricky on this one, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jay, what you think about that, but I think it's really tricky. So it's going to be interesting to see all of the pit stop during this specific last race.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And Jay, I've seen some, but not all of your track guide for this one from this week. You were very articulate about how to take a lot of these corners, because they're not easy, are they? The sequences of corners, I mean.
No, and even though if you're looking at the track map, the first half of the track looks relatively simple. Like they're pretty like fast corners, and you've got very little time to pick a perfect braking spot for, especially the keyhole with the elevation changes. Depending on the temperature and what the weather's like at the time, it can completely change how you take that corner. And once you hit that turn 4 and carry on through places like the S's, Thunder Valley, which is one of my favorite straight names in the entirety of motorsports, and in the carousel, like the elevation changes. If you're going too wide through here or battling, like you've got to really have your head on the right way around, or else it's just going to end in either extremely slow lap times or absolute chaos in the field.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's a lot of areas on this track where you can get quite a lot of race congestion. Let's just have a quick look at the weather. We have... Oh, what's this? What's this here? All right, well, we won't tell them.
Yeah,
There's not enough zeros.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
Not enough zeros on that 10%.
Yeah, that's class. Not enough zeros on the percentage. That's fun. I suppose wild outside. Chance of rain right at the very, very, very end of the race, but it's unlikely, as Sam said. And not enough zeros, as Jay said, which is quite hilarious, to be honest. We are approaching the end of practice. We've not got that many people on track. We have got one returning driver, and he's in the pits at the minute. You'll notice this paint scheme from last season, RD Simsport. Rob was supposed to join us about, I don't know, 15 races ago or something. But this is the first one he's actually managed to get himself aligned to. RD Simsport 2, this is the car of Rob Sutherland, so welcome back to Rob. We've got 26 drivers for the field this evening, which is very healthy numbers. Let's have a lap on... Oh no, let's do the standings. We'll do the lap on board during the qualifying session. Where are we? It's an endurance race, folks. They're all on 35% fuel, I should say. My apologies. And they will have to pit a couple of times, I think, for most of them. Let me go and find the pro standings, because these are tighter than a duck's bum. What? Is that funny?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you know that, but
Well,
I don't want to know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, she could be a vet. I don't know, but
Well,
yeah.
You know. Yeah, let's say I'm a vet. Yeah, let's say I'm a vet. Tight as a submarine door. I've got all of them. Wobbly is currently and very tentatively the leader of this series of pro and overall. So he's only 27 points ahead of Pete Newman, who is in turn only 26 points ahead of Stephen Walker. I don't remember a season where 3 could win it in the last. I remember a few where 2 could possibly win, and I know that we've been robbed on virtually every occasion of seeing that battle right to the end. Jay, this one I'm nervous about. I think we calculated that Wobbly needs to finish within 5 physical places of Pete Newman in order to take the victory of the season overall. What do you reckon? It's a dry track. It's a stable environment. Do you think it's Wobbly's to throw away now, or is he going to have to fight for this all the way to the end? What do you reckon?
If the practice times are anything to go by, it's going to be tighter than whatever animal's bottom you were probably going to say next. I do have a theory. If it stays like this as it is now, and it stays like this during qualifying with Pete and Wobbly as 1-2, I feel that them going up into the corner that we're watching now through the S's, a mistake will happen and one of them will go off track. If Wobbly's the one that goes off track, we could have an absolutely hectic rest of the race as we watch Wobbly trying to get within those 5 positions. But till then, it's Wobbly's to lose at this point. But it's been a fantastic season, and I love the fact that we've managed to rig it. I mean, we've managed to watch all the action go right to the last race of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a three-way fight. We had one season with Logan where it was a 2-way fight between him and Stephen, and we were robbed of that finish. You were in that season, Jay, and yeah, it would have been a beautiful end to that season to see them fighting it out on track. It wasn't to be. So let's hope that this season can be the one that we were robbed of previously. Right, let's talk Pro-Am now. Sam, I know you joined this season and the broadcast a bit later in the season, but Michael Hall, he's not miles away here. He's 90 points away from Tony Walker. This one's a bit beyond Freddie Van Eekhoven, I would say. He's 100 plus points behind, 101 points behind. I think Tony's in with a shout, but it would require Michael Hall to ruin the car very, very quickly and early on, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough call, and I count 99 and not 101, but anyway, it's math for you in a nutshell.
Oh, it's 99. Oh.
Yeah, don't worry, it's fine.
You.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a stretch even for Tony, but you never know what can happen. I crashed early on. I wish not for any of them, but everything can happen. So it's still open, but it's going to be harder to fight for that one than it is for the Pro Championship.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And then into the AM standings. Daniel Lewis. His car would have to explode, wipe out the rest of the field of AM class drivers, and for him to get a series of penalties that would put him beyond everybody. So this one is a done deal, in my opinion. Jay, I don't know whether you think there's any chance for Paul Hurley to haul that amount of points in, but I think it's mathematically impossible, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with you on this one. Daniel's had such a fantastic season. He's had one or two hiccups, but that's what the drop weeks are for, and they've worked out in his favor absolutely fantastically. So, yeah, it would take an absolute Max Verstappen level of absolute. Actually, no, because Max has his good moments. Pascal Maldonado, I can't even say the F1 driver's name. Basically, Daniel would have to bust his way into the interview booth, call us every single horrible name under the sun to the point that we ban him from the league, and then Paul might get the championship. So, I dare you, Daniel. I dare you.
Yeah, a double day. Right, team standings. We have Result X Pure Sims just 11 points. That is good maths this time. Ahead of Hydra Race Geodesic. So this one could go either way. We've got two Hydra Race Geodesic drivers. Two? Yeah. So we've got Wobbly and Stephen. No Sam Blees this evening. He has been in the last 2 race weeks. And we've got one in Pete Newman at Result X Pure Sims. Michael Hall in
Michael Hall as well.
Michael Hall's in Result X Pure Sims. Is there a third one? No, it's
just
two.
the two for Result X Pure Sims.
Yeah, so 2 versus 2, that is going anyway. I wouldn't like to put my mortgage on that because 11 points is nothing in this particular series when there's at least 500 points available between the 2 teams across that finish. And then Hydra Race Racing Forces there, holding their own with 3 drivers just behind, and they've done a great job this season as we trip into qualifying behind the scenes. Driver of the meeting, Freddie Van Eekhoven has got 4 votes. There's a couple of drivers there, Jamie and Jaden on 3 votes each, and then 3 drivers on 2 votes, Pete Newman and Casper. The depends on how this one goes as to who races well tonight for that one. And then the final championship, the most coveted prize in the whole of iRacing, as everybody piles out the pits. Deck Crowther is leading Sir Alan's Safe Driver Award. Sir Alan is on the chat. Good evening to Sir Alan. There's a whole load of people actually in the chat at the moment for this finale. And Michael Hall in second. He's not just fast, he's safe, Jay. 73 incidents over 5,400 turns. That's amazing, really, isn't it? 0.013 total incidents per turn. I mean, how'd you do that?
I don't know.
No.
It's the honest answer, Pete. That's to everyone who's in that top 10 in there. That's just absolutely insane over the course of a season. Like usually in a race week when you're racing 4 or 5 officials, sometimes you'll get that 50 plus 60. But for these lot to go as many rounds as we have, like remember folks who are listening and watching now, like some of our rounds it's more than 1 race, so these are just like insane stats. Yeah, where do I even begin to teach that? I can't.
Well, yeah. Logan's on the chat. Okay, welcome to the chat, Logan. Don't forget, folks, that we have some championships that sit around us. One is SRL. They're about to relaunch their Friday sessions. The reason I've picked up on Deck Crowther there is because he drives Blade Designs by SRL. They race on Fridays. Get signed up for that series. They race TCRs as well, as do the Apex League in the States, which is Logan's championship. I'm just trying to see if I can find their website at the minute, which was the massive pause that you experienced as my brain tried to kick in. Where is it? I'm trying to find it.
Thing to ask.
Hey, what?
I'm gonna find it and just.
Oh yeah, cool.
If you get a chance, Pete, you need to watch their latest video.
Is it good?
The camera work is just absolutely like. You can tell they've seen what you've done and they've learnt from it, and
I'm sure
it's spectacular. Like it's as if Michael Bay directed a touring car.
Alpha, yeah.
Yeah, it's majestic.
Yeah, sorry, I've just found the website, and Jay's just put in there ATC Alpha Touring Championship, Alpha Touring Challenge now, right? Okay. or it's maybe always called that. Who knows? But they regularly fill their field with 60 drivers. Sam Boozen's just posted what I was about to click onto. So don't forget to get signed up for that. Again, these aren't competition leagues. We are mutually supportive between the three of us, as far as I know, or it is for me anyway. I really don't care. As long as people get to race, I'm not bothered. Right, back to live footage then. Right, Wobbly is out here. Who is about to get round and finish the lap? Nobody, because they're all at one point on the track at the moment. Dale Bennison is in the pits, but that's a regular thing for him to do. He sometimes starts the race from the back on purpose and from pit lane. Freddie posting the fastest lap up to this point as other times come across. Obviously, you won't see the drivers on the track map until they've placed their first timed lap, or first full circuit, actually, isn't it? Because they still show even if they've got incidents and don't record a time. So yeah, we've got a dozen drivers at the moment at the bottom of this that have not posted a time. They'll start appearing on your screens shortly. One penalty to serve this evening, which was for Salvatore. He's got to start from pit lane this evening. If he doesn't start from pit lane, the race direction will issue him with a black flag. That means he'll have to box the car for a 1 minute and 20 second penalty in his box, which is probably a 2 minutes and 20 penalty overall. Were you saying that was the calculation if that had to happen, Sam? Something like that, wasn't it?
I think it was more 60 seconds stopped and plus the pit lane transit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Right. So yeah, that's a pretty brutal one if he doesn't. But that's the only penalty for this particular race. Wobbly's just taken over the fastest lap so far. We're going to go and find Stephen Walker, and we're going to jump on board his car. And Jay, are you in a good place to talk us around a lap?
Sure, why not? As we go onto a circuit full of bumps and turns, Mid-Ohio is going to quickly become one of your favourite tracks for hot lapping, testing and racing. But we start straight away with a short sprint at the 100 board. You can mount that pit exit if you want to, but be careful not to go overboard because it does result in an off track. But an overtaking opportunity does arise if you give yourself a stronger exit. But coming up to the keyhole now, got to watch out for the elevation changes. You can see a lot of drivers diamonding that corner, as in hitting the first apex, going out wide and sweeping back in. This is because with front wheel drive cars, you don't want to overdo the front tires. If you can get your car straight from the exit, then you'll get the more bang for your buck. Going along now, before we start to get onto a bit that, unfortunately for sensitive viewers, it contains scenes of extreme elevation changes and throttle control, as we're going to be trying to get as clean a line possible through these hilled sections. A quick burst of throttle before zooming in as we approach the S's. We're going to have a bit of a blind crest coming up, but that's absolutely fine as long as you know where you're going. Where the dark and tarmac is, go as wide as you can and swing yourself around to take a ride down Thunder Valley. More exciting than any Disney ride you've ever been on in your entire life. Get yourself close to the wall to the right hand side, as once again you're sweeping your car around, getting ready for the carousel. Multiple lines you can take here, but just like you did for the keyhole, diamond the corner, out and in, and throttle down as you have completed a lap of one of the most underrated circuits on the entire iRacing catalogue.
Yeah, that is a good statement to make as well, because it is underrated massively. This feels more like a UK circuit to me, Sam, than it does an American circuit. Because it's got lots and lots of elevation changes as opposed to Sebring or some of the other tracks that the US have. Although that's probably unfair, isn't it? Because Road Atlanta...
It is really unfair. I was about to mention Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
That one has some good elevation changes and actually look a bit alike this one. But I agree 100%. This is an awesome track, and I feel like we don't race it often. I don't know why, but it would get a nice update graphically, with some updates, fields and stuff, better grass, better stuff. I think it would be a nice thing for Mid-Ohio to bring people back into it and actually start to enter it maybe a bit more. I've raced it in different cars, not in TCRs, but in V8s, in GTs, even in prototypes, and it is great in everything. So yeah, it's right up there in the track list.
Yeah, and Jay, is it one of your go-to tracks, or is it one that sits in the beige category in between other tracks that you find exciting?
Oh no! Whenever this track comes up, I try to get myself onto it as much as possible. It's great racing, great hot lapping, and if there's anybody in the chat or watching right now that doesn't own this circuit, like you're really missing out. It's if you're trying to, like, not just for touring car, but if you like when the service goes down and the test drives up, this is actually probably one of the better tracks to get potential future purchases on, just to test what it's like, because this track has a little bit of everything. It's fun to hot lap as well. So it's there's a lot going on in this small piece of land.
Yeah, yeah, well said, and a good description. I like that a lot. I loved your lap, by the way. There was some really funny stuff in there. I like that. That was good. Right, where are we at? Stephen Walker is currently provisionally your pole man at the moment. He's got wobbly in his toe. Whether that's a tactic, I don't know. We'll soon find out, because they've just gone both across the line. Nobody improved on that lap that I can see, apart from Pete Newman, who moves himself into third place at the moment behind the two Jaycaulls in the standings. Jamie Jeffrey, yeah, I know he likes this track. He's said it before. And it suits him well, and I think that's because, as I said before, it feels a bit like a UK track in my opinion, a bit like an Alton Park, with elements of Thruxton in there, with these long straights with little kinks in. And we were at Thruxton last week for a little adventure, which I wasn't on the broadcast of, and I wish I had been, because it seemed like a very exciting thing to do. Right, where are we? Michael Hall, top of the Pro-Ams at the minute. And mid of the pack, he needs to do some work there, I think. He's not ultimately perfectly safe in that Pro-Am position. So we'll have to see what's going on with him. Daniel Lewis, however, as always, is deep inside the Pro-Am standings. And he will definitely have to move up next season. Providing he rejoins us, of course. Right, so we have 5 minutes left. What do we need to discuss? We need to discuss season 21, I suppose. Sign-ups for season 21 will probably be towards the middle of next week, once Pete has bothered himself to get everything sorted out. Trophies are on their way for both this season, the team championship this season, and 2 future seasons, which should tell you that we're here for a while, folks. I'll get you some pictures of my wood. It'll be. I hope that deep inside, I honestly hope that Wobbly doesn't get his hands on my wood, because, well, that statement on its own is enough to make you barf, or make me barf. Plus, we'll never hear the end of it, will we, Sam? It'll be deafening, really, won't it?
No, but what I'm confused about is you said you don't want him to have it, but you also said deep inside, so I'm not sure what to think about that, Pete.
Let's not bring those two sentences together ever again.
I think I'm going light-headed. I don't know. Just
What car? What car? Tice Van Gool has asked me a question. I'm not sure what it is.
which car is PVG driving at the moment?
What's he driving? He's driving the Hyundai, isn't he? Yeah, he's in the
12th
Veloster.
place at the moment in the Veloster. 12th place so far.
Which is reasonable. I've seen him a lot higher up than that previously, so maybe he's just getting his mojo together. I'm not sure. Drives, right? Okay, sorry, my messages are coming through a bit delayed, I think. No call in this, says Alan Toon. I think you're absolutely right. It's been a long time since we had a season as tight as this one is. I really hope that this one goes the distance without anything bad happening.
And look at the gap between first and second in quali.
Oh wow!
Well, there is no gap, is there?
That's
Well,
tighter than.
What's the technical on that one?
Whoever set the time
The,
first, I'm guessing.
testicle?
I didn't say the testicles, Sam. No.
Oh,
I said,
sorry. Oh,
I
yeah.
said the
Excuse
technical.
me.
What is the actual split difference?
Well,
There has to be
we don't have
something.
it.
What? Is
Yeah,
it?
it is something, but Iron Racing only show us to the third decimals. So it's probably further on that is decided,
Oh
but we
my
don't
God!
have that
Right.
information.
Well, it's
Wow.
showing. It's so on my live timing. It's
Yeah.
put in Stephen Walker 129.78 and Wobbly at a 127. 127. Wow, a 129.79. So a number's rounded up somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy with that. Because that puts Wobbly in second. Right, okay. I don't remember what his time was in practice.
And Logan's saying as well, ATC actually had the same pole time at Mid Ohio before. Looking at the file format, the difference was 0.0005.
Right. Wow. That's terrifying. Right, okay. Let's have a look at who's at the top of the Pro-Ams at the minute. Or provisional leader of the Pro-Ams is this boy, Tony Walker, who has consistently improved over the course of the last, I'm going to say 6 or 7 seasons. Very good. Everybody's parking it now because they know that if they are not on a lap now, they're not going to get to complete a lap now. This is
Well, they can't complete it because it's not an heat
no.
race
You're
format.
great,
Yeah.
great point. Great point. This is a standard race, not a heat race, folks. So we won't get chinned out of the session like we normally do. This will let them finish the racing lap that they're on as long as they've crossed the line before the 15-minute mark. I wonder how many people are paying attention to that, because I certainly wasn't, and I set the session. Right.
Looking at it, less than 10.
Yeah. JB on it, and he's third in class at the minute, or will start third in class.
Probably setting some good sectors there.
Yeah. He's only 3/thousandths behind Freddie Van Eekhoven. This is doable for JB, and he's got 3 fastest personal sectors, which might bring him up. Oh no, he's bailed to the pits.
Oh no!
So it wasn't going to be for that lap. Pit lane, Jay. Sam mentioned it earlier. Leaving the racing line on the outside of a turn. We're gone. Yeah, we're gone checkered. We're 46 seconds in. You don't often do that, do you? You're usually on a straight or on the inside of a turn, because it's usually on the inside of the track, whereas Mid-Ohio, it's on the outside of the track or the racing circuit. Does that give us any extra challenges? There's a few tracks like that, isn't there? Like Barber, etc.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to seemingly understeer, on purpose, swing out and try to avoid the grass, because the grass here seems to, if you get any tyres on there, it just sort of pulls you in and doesn't let you go. Of course, that's not only going to give you off tracks, which means that you have a chance of getting the Sir Alan Safe Driver Award for the off track, but also you've got many cars that you're trying to watch around you who could be doing the same thing. And if we could have, I think we will see at least one pit lane incident involving 2 cars and one more pit lane incident involving somebody overshooting or just really struggling to get into it.
Right, okay. No, that's fine. We like drama. Not too much drama, but we like some drama. Okay, let's have a look and see what we can spot in terms of drama in the finish here, because we are done now. We're just waiting for the session to tick over into the race. Stephen Walker will be your pole man, and he did a much faster time in the end. I say much faster. He's done a 129.66, so he has extended that little tiny gap as we go to grid. Alright, and Dale has joined the racing circuit, so we shall extend gridding. That should have extended it. I'm not really sure. Stephen Walker leads us away for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Wobbly will go off on the front row next to him, his teammate and current championship leader, Pete Newman will go off third on the second row next to Jamie Jeffrey. So the top 3 in the championship are the top 3 in this qualifying session and race session. Tony Walker will go off 5th. Rene Earhart will go off 6th. 7th will be Freddie Van Eekhoven. JB Dejay will go off 8th. 9th will be Jaden Scotton with Carl Hardy 10th. Salvatore Gueli will start from pit road, although he has gridded the car, I think. Sam? No, he hasn't. He's just reset his car. Right, okay. Was just keeping an eye on that. Pete Van Gool will go off 12th. 13th will be Daniel Lewis. 14th will be Michael Hull. 15th will be Jamie Wilson. Ura Larkinen will go off 16th. 17th will be David Ayres. Rob Sutherland off 18th. 19th will be Demis Tictular. 20th will be Deck Crowther. Paul Hurley off 21st. Chris Dixon off 22nd. 23rd will be Fee. Andy Littler will go off 24th. 25th, if I can find the button, will be Chesney Vanderbroeker. And 26th will be Dale Bennison, who I said usually starts from the back anyway. That's his choice to do so. Do we see any dramas at the start of this one, guys? Anybody in a... Oh, look at that. They go right round to the carousel. Right.
Yep. I think if somebody gets a horrible start here with the speed of turn 1, we could potentially see a little bit of bumping.
Yeah.
It's been happening in the official races all week, and yeah, wow, that's insane seeing all those cars going around the corner like that.
It's impressive to just to view it like that, isn't it?
See how they've all got their starts going.
Yeah, we're green.
Lights out. And fantastic start from the front 3 2 Pete Newman getting onto the inside of Wobbly just there.
Yeah.
So they keep it safe there, though. They're both their title aspirations are going to look good. And plenty of space given, plenty of respect.
Oh!
And there's the first.
Someone's
there's
gone.
Daniel Lewis.
Daniel. Oh, is he going to avoid the wall? Yeah, I think he may have
what a
just
save.
Scraped it a little, maybe. As we join the front runners again, as they file round. Michael Hall here, in the thick of battle with Carl Hardy at the moment. Is that Carl Hardy? No, it's PVG. Pete Van Gool and Carl Hardy, sorry. One in front, one behind. And a bit of a gaggle a bit further back here in the AM class.
Yeah, I bet Paul Hurley, when he saw Daniel Lewis going off there, heart in his mouth. But no, Daniel survives and catch it back up. Wow, that's getting close, isn't it?
That, even from where I was looking, looked like a massive bag full of solid air. But we'll have a look at that again in a second. So that's the most dramatic thing that's happened so far, other than Pete Newman making his way forward into second place. It's not yet that poignant, is it? Because Wobbly is still in a championship winning position right now.
Yeah, and at the moment, Stephen Walker is going to be dictating the pace of the race. You're going to see a lot of people getting it close and personal. Some will be wanting to try and gain some positions. Some will be wanting to save fuel as long as possible, as Salvatore takes that penalty just there.
Yep.
It's a shame that.
Sam, can you confirm that was race control black flagging him?
It was, yes.
Right, okay. Cheers, thank you. Right,
Yeah,
Jamie Wilson. Oh, look at that. David Ayres on an overtake on Jamie Wilson. Audi versus Audi.
Fantastic.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Just there. Yeah, that just seemingly come out of nowhere. And yeah, no, both kept that really clean as well. And the Audi on the straight here as well. David going to be hoping that he gets a bit of a slipstream from Euro, which he'll be getting a sliver.
Yeah. I mean, I can only...
Overshot that corner.
Oh, that was solid air as well. I'm going to go back, right, whilst we watch Jamie recovering slightly. I want to go back and watch this crash with Chris Dixon. Because from my camera angle, it really did look like... There's a bit of rub in there. And then we go into this turn. Oh, no, that was a proper kablam. Okay. So that one was not solid air at all.
Such a difficult corner to really sort of race too wide on, and we're probably
Yeah,
going to see something very similar here, to be honest.
yeah, I think so. I think my eyesight needs retesting.
Yeah, I feel David may have been trying to open up that corner a little bit much
Yeah.
there whilst in a side-by-side battle. See, with the uphill, you're sort of not seeing the crest either, so you have to really practice the track with multiple lines just until you get comfortable in whatever predicament and scenario other people are going to put you in.
Yeah. And Sam, so we've got. Do you reckon this is going to be a very safe race in inverted commas for the top three? As in not do anything risky.
It might be, but I'm not sure it will be.
Okay.
They all like to race. I know Wobbly loves to race, so he's not gonna, try to save his result. Well, he's probably not gonna be as aggressive as he is, respectfully aggressive, I should say.
Yeah.
But because he's got the championship in mind, but I think it's gonna be still pretty right up there because they're all racers that like to go for a fight, and they're all gonna want to win the last race of the season.
Well, I know Wobbly wants to win the championship. The bragging rights that he will hold for an entire 12-week period, they'll be unbearable for everybody apart from him, obviously. But what he's probably aware of is Jamie Jeffrey is behind him. Jamie Jeffrey only knows one direction to travel in, and that's to the front. So he will overtake Wobbly if he gets the chance. There's no two ways about that. Renee, I think, will also do the same if he can catch him. Tony Walker, I think, is a racer who... Oh, Renee must have had a slowdown.
I'm not seeing a slowdown on my screen, so I don't know what's going on there with Renee, in all honesty.
Completely stop and you reset to the pits.
He has, yeah.
Oh.
Technical? Yeah, technical issue for Renee. I don't know what that is all about at all. So, sorry folks, can't tell you what that is. And I don't think either of you two can either, can you?
I'm not seeing anything at the moment, unfortunately. Just let people know in the chat, a poll has been put up to vote for your pro winner, so get onto it. And, let's see who gets by the middle of the race. Let's see how many of us are looking good in our predictions.
Didn't know you could do that. That's class.
Is
Right.
that you then, Sam?
It is me.
Right. So at the moment, your race leader is multiple previous champion Stephen Lucky Wookie Walker, who leads from Pete Newman and Wobbly. This is the current reverse order of the top end of the championship. Then we've got Jamie Jeffrey in 4th place, Tony Walker keeping it Jamie honest, Freddie Van Eekhoven and Jaden Scotton. So that's the top 3, 4 in pro, and top 3 in pro-am listed for you. Jaden Scotton having a splendid race so far, Jay. He's quite a solid racer, isn't he? He keeps it clean.
Absolutely. Raced with Jaden for a couple of seasons now. He is somebody who only gets better. Is like a sponge, just absorbs any information given to him. The more he drives the track, obviously, like the better he gets. The exact meaning of practice, funny enough, but Jaden does it pretty well. And after an absolutely fantastic Thruxton last week, where he got his first win of the season in Pro-Ams, and hopefully the first of many, he'll be looking at keeping that podium run going, and he is very capable of doing it, and I think he will tonight.
Excellent. No, that's good feedback for Jaden Scotton. As we see all the leaders compiling through Thunder Valley there and into the carousel, round this super tight penultimate turn of the lap. The final turn is that little kink there, and then over the line we go. Jamie Jeffrey putting a lot of pressure on Wobbly at points there, Sam. I don't know whether Wobbly's fairly immune to that sort of thing, though, isn't he? His confidence and ego don't let him buckle under that sort of pressure.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything anyway.
No.
So he's pretty focused forward, and they're all pretty much with the same gap between each other. So I think they're pretty much all at the same pace, and there's no real passing opportunities unless one of them makes a mistake. And I think if we see a pass in the next few laps, that's gonna be the reason. One of them will brake too late, too early, make some kind of small mistake, but that will open the door for the car following.
Yeah, it doesn't take much either, does it? And Renee's just said on the chat what the reason for his retirement was.
Yes.
It happened at least once to all of us.
More than once for me.
I did it last week as well.
Did you?
At some point during the race. Yeah, unfortunately.
It's a rough deal, isn't it?
It happened to me once, and since I've never put quali fuel in. I'm not faster anyway, so it's not worth it.
No.
Fair.
Yeah, so that is fair. Yeah. Okay. So no change at the front other than Jamie Jeffrey really giving some pressure to Wobbly now. Wobbly won't want to risk being racing too close to another racer. Jamie can be a very robust racer. He's a real life racer. He's used to trading paint with people, and therefore, I don't know, he's not shy. He's definitely not shy. I wonder how this is going to pan out. It's going to be very interesting to figure it out. Here we go. Deck Crowther on down the inside of Fee there for an overtake. Fee's got now her own teammate Chris Dixon for company. And their other teammate is in the foreground there in the Audi. Andy Littler is bossing this crew at the moment. That's the whole of the work guard team in one shot there. That was good footage.
That's a screenshot and a half right there.
It was, yeah. It was good, wasn't it? It's not like
I have
me
to remember
normally.
this one, but we've got lap 7.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah.
Get my photographers out there later.
Yeah. Too right. Looks like they're trying to break the toe now. Says Mark Draper. Yeah, there is a bit of daylight, but the daylight isn't showing really until you get back as far as JB, who's having a splendid race. He's now got a 3-second gap between himself and PVG, who's dragging the rest of the Pro-Ams behind him. So, really good racing from JB.
Stop saying that. I'm gonna jinx him.
Oh no! Terrible race from JB.
He should be much higher.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. He's not trying hard enough. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
to be fair, he lost a position since the start. He was on the podium of the.
Let's keep going with that negativity.
Pro-Am,
That'll keep
yeah.
him on the track. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, we're gonna kick him from BSTV Sports, man.
It's getting brutal
Oh,
now.
shit.
Cutthroat business
I don't know
isn't
if he
it?
still. I don't know if he still listens to us, but yeah, sorry, JB, I didn't mean that.
We're just trying
Like
to
you.
counter my curses. So. Mark Draper says the toe is strong here. That is true, Jay. Not as much as it used to be back in the dark in the dark ages when Mark Draper actually raced with us. The toe isn't quite as effective these days, is it?
The toe has significantly weakened for TCR in general, but in Ohio though, for the first half of the track, you do get a sliver, and if you get a sliver, then you want to utilize it as much as possible, and it's probably the only reason the top 7, 8, 9 at the moment are staying so close, just because they have that little bit of toe just to keep everybody in check. Like I said, Stephen Walker dictating the pace a lot here. It's just up to everybody else how aggressive they want to be with that little bit of toe that they do get.
And you don't get enough straight until about now on the track, do you? In order to get the toe, there is some toe to be had up towards Keyhole. Obviously, on the next stretch, as we head towards China Beach, there's a massive amount of opportunity. But you've got to be utterly brave on the brakes, haven't you, to do anything heading into China Beach, Sam? It's a send it moment if you're going to do anything and you're in company of racers that are the same sort of speed and talent as you are.
Yeah, it's tough. And it does seem to the ears that they are trying to save fuel a little bit. At least Jamie Jeffries is saving fuel. I think he left it a bit early. And he's all the way to the back of Wobbly, so I'm expecting Wobbly to save fuel as well. And probably the pace dictated by Steven is a bit too slow for the followers, or maybe he's also saving fuel at the front and they're just all happy to keep with him and save all fuel, and the battle will settle down at the end of the race. I don't know.
Well, at the
Pete
minute,
getting very close.
yeah. What? Say again.
Pete getting very, very close there.
He was,
He
yeah.
just was within a tenth there for a second, like a bit of a late break there.
No, that's a good spot from Jaycaulls there. And really, Stephen is the disadvantaged one right now, Jay, because he's the one having to cut the hole in the air for everybody else.
Yeah, it also means, well, unless he's braking a little bit earlier for corners himself, is most likely statistically the first one he's going to be pitting as well. So he'll be on the voice comms with Wobbly. They'll be trying to get some sort of planning actions as to when everyone's going to pit, but he'll want to slow the field down slightly just so Wobbly can keep up with them. But at the same time, he doesn't want to go so slow that Pete's going to try and get a run on him and dictate the pace himself.
Yeah, so, and first visitor to the pits, unusually, is Fiona. So I don't know why. It looks like a scheduled stop. Yeah, that's a scheduled stop for Fiona. It's not damage, because as far as I can see, she's not been off track. Where did she enter pit road?
It's been 15 minutes since the race started, so I'm just wondering if Theo's had qualifying fuel in. She may have fueled for the whole session rather than what a lot of people have probably done today because of the high tyre wear. Maybe gone in for like 5-minute sessions and then got new tyres. Fee might not have done the same thing, played it safe, but not changed the setup.
No,
not quite as extreme as Renee. It would be my guess.
yeah. That is a good assessment and an interesting one for sure. And right now, Sam, the two Geo cars are way further forward than the two Pure X Result X cars. That does mean that the team championship right now, right this second, is in the hands of the Geo team. So Michael Hall at the moment, what does he need to do? Does he need to fuel save and then leap a few cars? Does he need to race because there's a gap in front of the car in front of him? So there's 3 seconds between PVG in front of him, and you can see JB disappearing around the corners in the distance. What's the answer for Result X Pure Sims to secure that lead in the team championship that they've got, and it's only 11 points?
Yeah, we had a quick discussion about that last week with Jay, and I think if I remember correctly, I actually called that it's gonna be tough for Result X Pure Sims to keep the lead they have, because Steven and Wobbly are pro drivers, and sadly for the Result X Pure X team, Michael Hall is air quote not trying to diminish the accomplishment, only a pro-am driver. Which means his result it's most likely gonna be less than Steven and Wobbly anyway, so they're gonna lose point at some point and somewhere in the race, in the races through the season. Yeah. They got ahead, and fair to them having a team with 2 different classes with not all pro drivers, still being in the lead for the last race it's already an achievement in itself. But the way the race is looking, apart from a big mistake from one of the Geo car, I think it's them to lose for the team championship.
Yeah. I definitely think it is. Geo's to lose at the moment. As we heard, as we approached China Beach again there, a huge lift, even bigger than the last time we were on board with him, from Jamie. And that can only be true of probably all the cars in front, with the possible exception, or slightly more reduced version of the same thing, from Stephen Walker. Let's just see what we can glean from the sounds of this Honda engine. As we can see the cars behind us. Now, it looks like Tony has bridged the gap somewhat now. There was a gap forming, but that's gone. He's pulling away now from Freddie van Eekhoven. As these guys at the front fuel save. They're trying to out fuel save one another right now, aren't they, Jay? Because this is a battle that'll be won in the pits now, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. You said it exactly right on that last bit. It's going to be the pits that determine this one now, and with the dangers I mentioned at the start, with forcing yourself to go wide on a track that's unforgiving if you put a tyre on the grass, it's going to be a tough one. Similar to what Sam was saying as well, for in terms of the team's championship, a big disadvantage for Result X Pure Sims is the fact that this is just a single race today, which gives Geodesic just such a control, like an almost vice grip over the rest of the grid, whereas if it was a multiple races and you had the reverse grid, there'd be a lot more danger in the air. But in this one, it's it could be a bit of a simple job at the front here for Geo, but as things stand, it's going to be the pits that decide it. But I mean, they've got this pretty well under control at the moment, so yeah. I don't foresee many problems at the moment.
No, and it's a good shout actually. Maybe that's something for us to, or for me to change up for next season. Put the endurance race in other race weeks as opposed to the last one and the middle one. That might be an interesting twist and give them something different to race for at the end of the season. That might make it a bit more tasty. As we've got them stacking up now. I don't know whether that's because Stephen's doing slower laps. He's not really though. He's only 0.4 of a second off his fastest ever. Well, not fastest ever lap, but fastest lap of this race. It's not like he's going particularly slowly. Why is Jamie Wilson has pitted? I missed that. Apologies.
Yes. Yeah, that was something I was going to say a little bit earlier, but we got into a pretty interesting subject with the team's championship reason. Now, I wonder if Jamie's done the same thing, maybe because it's been so close to the 15 minutes. We'll find out after the race and the interviews, I'm sure.
Yeah. So Jamie sets off after Chris Dixon. Demis is in close company with Daniel Lewis. Nobody needs that in their lives because Daniel Lewis is very, very good at going forwards and putting overtakes on people.
Yeah, Daniel actually really good recovery drive so far, getting himself up into the podium places of the AMs as well. So he's had a really good clean. He's already gapped Paul Hurley by over 7 seconds as well. So as long as Daniel keeps it safe and doesn't bust into the commentary booth and get himself league banned,
Can you imagine
he's doing pretty
that?
good so far.
Yeah. That was the overtake.
I dare you, Daniel. I dare you. yeah, throw that one back in. So that was Jamie Wilson making his way through on Chris Dixon. We saw the aftermath of that. As we join the front of the queue again, Mark Draper pitting a little early to get clean air if they're getting held up, maybe, he says. That is a possibility, I guess, although while everybody's fuel saving, being in the tow of another car is probably the better advantage, Sam. I don't know. Tactics were never my thing. Is it better to be in traffic fuel saving on an endurance race like this, or is it better just to get into clean air and manage your own race?
I would say it depends, but Jimmy had an off track early on and he dropped off the order, so he was probably stuck behind slow guys and having maybe a hard time to battle them. So in Jimmy's game, getting up front, well, out of the pits, that's close for the lead.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
Trying to get back, he's not gonna make it. Oh, geez, that was close. Nice one.
Yeah, nice racing. Give each other room, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very, very sketchy bit of a road to go too wide on. The elevation changes and the curves there can sometimes send cars into each other. With what you were saying about the fuel saving here, it's it's a tough one. Like we said, Pete Newman's fuel saving at the moment. If Gio did want to be extremely sneaky here, and they feel that Stephen Walker could get into clean air, if Stephen Walker pits earlier than Pete anticipates, then Pete would be the front runner, and Pete would be the one who would then have to go full pace to keep Wobbly away from him.
Yeah, yeah.
So, bit of mind games there, but Pete keeps going side by side, so I wonder if Stephen Walker's actually lifting quite a bit at the moment. He's giving Pete chances to get by the side of him, and look how much everybody behind, like Tony Walker's caught back up, Jamie Jeffries got in even close to Wobbly than before. I think Stephen Walker's actually trying to do a little bit of fuel saving himself, and
Yep.
I think Pete Newman's going to find a chance here, and he's going to go for it.
Does look that way, although now Wobbly's onto Pete Newman. It's a bit of a seesaw going on here. Tony Walker's joined the back of the queue. Like, properly joined the back of the queue now. Let's go on to the windscreen of...
Freddie Van Eekhoven as well, catching up to Tony slightly.
Yeah, that's the biggest gap I've noticed, but it is reducing, you're right. I don't know what Pete's idea is here. Any of those concepts that you put forward just now are reasonable. It might be just trying to put Stephen off his game. Where's Michael Hall when all this is going on? He's still buried underneath the boot lid of PVG at the moment, and got Carl Hardy for company as well behind. I don't think there'll be any... See, this is Result Clothing versus Result Clothing versus Result Clothing. They may be in different coloured cars, folks, but it's the same stable ultimately. I mean, I don't know. Would Michael Hall benefit from being through on PVG? That's never going to happen, is it? Because the Result cars just race each other because they like racing. Oh, Michael Hall stepped out of the way.
Interesting. I didn't see a slowdown there at all, so I wonder if Michael was going to jump into the pits or something. He's maybe giving the two cars in front of him a bit of a cleaner last couple of corners.
Yeah, Andy
Call me Nostradamus if this goes right.
yeah, totally.
I won't be guessing your lottery numbers.
I was just gonna say, can you fill out my lottery sheet for the weekend? Pete Newman's just on the fastest lap of the race, but Michael did not go into the pits, Jay.
Well, don't.
Is he just on a mega fuel save? Is that it?
It'd be a weird one, because he'd get exactly the same benefits out of it if he was following PVG.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what's happened there. I didn't see any slowdowns or anything like that come up on my end, and nothing looked particularly off there about that run through at the start of turn 4 onwards. So
no.
your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Any advances on No Idea, Sam? Because I'm all out.
I think he's just a bit slower than the other guys, and just kindly let them go. Right. I don't see any other explanation, because he seems to not be able to quite keep the pace up with PVG and Carl Hardy.
Right.
So that's my only explanation, honestly.
Okay. Now, did I remember missing something as to why Daniel was further back than I thought he should be?
He did spin at the beginning after someone.
Yeah.
And it's been a great fight back to get where he is at the moment. He has been stuck behind Demis for a little while, so I just wonder if Daniel is looking at maybe, like everybody else, fuel saving himself, because the Audi can get a bit thirsty on that tank sometimes, and I'm just wondering if Demis just there, he is 3.2 seconds behind Mr. Sutherland at the moment. So if Daniel can get a good undercutting pit stop in, come out into clean air, which is pretty likely at the moment, 'cause everyone's, apart from the front group actually, which is a really strange one, everyone's spaced out quite nicely at the moment. So, yeah, it's could be an interesting one. And here we go again. We've got PVG swapping out to the back now.
I have no idea what is going on here. I think they're doing it just to wind me up. Because they know I'm too stupid to figure out whatever it is they're doing.
It just looked like they're racing NASCAR super speedway in a team, and they're just switching to same fuel between one another.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good shout, actually. Yeah, I was just thinking along those lines. Maybe they're just all taking it turns to see who's quickest, but also get a bit of fuel saving all around here. Maybe they have seen a loophole in the fuel stops. As we're on board with JBJ right to the back of Jaden at the moment. This is a good battle right here.
It is. For
the podium places in Pro-Ams. Both having fantastic races at the moment. Two very clean, respectful drivers. And this, I wouldn't be surprised if after the pit stops they can't get away from each other until the final lap.
Yeah, we see that numerous times actually. In the races where, especially endurance races, people bolted together for 2 hours when it runs that long, just inseparable. Looks like it'll be the same for these two. JB's doing that diamonding that you were talking about, Jay.
Yeah, got the lead pack going through some of these back markers now, and I think the back markers are playing nice with them and letting the cars through. Yet there's one of the safeguard cars at the back there, and this is one of the worst parts of the track to come across some of these slower cars. If I was a back marker, or my advice to them would be just keep driving normally. If you end up going out to the side and slowing down, especially with the lead pack this close together, it's going to cause some problems.
Yeah,
which might be what Pete Newman needs right now.
Absolutely.
Some great camera shots there.
I like this camera. You don't get this one on many other tracks. I suppose you'd have to create it yourself on some tracks, wouldn't you? But this one gives you a real sense of speed.
Oh, and that's a nice one as well.
I know. Some really good things about doing a broadcast on Mid-Ohio in iRacing. Camera position being one of them, and just the track itself. It just lends itself to great broadcasts as they come piling in here. Look at this. Sorry.
Ooh.
Please, yeah, go on.
With now.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Was a jinx.
Oh, so close.
Yeah. Fiona is the car has a back marker being overtaken at the minute, and she's out of the gas. Salvatore getting some lights from Steven.
This is where you can lose or win a championship, basically.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on Wobbly for that particular reason, funnily enough.
Oh, Salvatore's
staying with it,
not made it easy for these.
No.
It's going a bit wide here.
No, he's trying to stay out of the way.
I mean, to be fair, they've done really well to navigate through that there.
Yeah.
Oh, the sneaky look on the inside from Jamie. That was good.
Sneaky. Yeah. I like it. That was good. And I managed to catch that on camera. It's first times for everything, folks.
And back to the camera talk, as you was talking about camera as Tony Walker is being stuck behind Salvatore though. So he's losing the contact with the front four.
Yeah, he's going to lose that toe, isn't he?
He's going to lose it, yes, I'm afraid. So it might make him vulnerable from the guys behind, although Freddy's is a bit further back.
Yeah.
So rather now, that nice move.
Yeah. Salvatore let him go there, that was nice.
I'm surprised that Mid-Ohio has such good cameras. When you see all tracks in iRacing, most of the time, they have really bad cameras.
Yeah, some of them are terrible. Some of them, the TV1 and TV2, are identical. And it's like, well, why give me 3 options if you've only got 2 cameras? You know? That was nice. They both sailed around Chesney there to get into China Beach. And into the S's. Chesney staying wide there, losing a position, I think.
Oh, that's Tony
Yeah.
getting past.
Yeah.
Tony not having good luck at the moment with
What? Where?
some of the back markers.
Oh, is he right behind that, is he? Or was he?
Yeah, Tony's just got past.
Alright. He's not quite lost touch, but he's going to have to work to get onto the back of that top 4. No fuel saving for Tony Walker.
Yeah, it's Benison in the pits at the moment, and that's coming up to 33 minutes into the race.
Yeah, so 80-minute race, folks. An hour and 20 minutes of fun and frivolity for us watching, not for them racing. They'll be all stressed and everything. But hopefully they're enjoying every minute of it. This is a bit fragmented at the front here. You were absolutely right, Sam. Those back markers have created some gaps in the top 4 now. I don't think. Well, I think Result X Pure Sims are going to suffer a little bit more in terms of the team championship as a result of that, because it just puts Michael Hull further away from all the people he needs to overtake, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's getting further and further away. An idea for the last races of next season, you put 4 races with full reverse grid.
Yep.
5 laps each, and each time the leader crosses the line, you get a drive-through.
Yeah.
That was totally random.
Yeah. Very random. Evening to Chris Jackson. A very, very fast V8 racer. He's not raced in the last couple of seasons, but he did save someone's life recently, so everybody should acknowledge fantastic acts when they feature in our lives, and Chris there getting an award for that from the local authorities, so well done to you. Oh, as we see Tony Walker flash out into the pits there, trying to make some sort of advantage of a situation, Jay, where he got stacked up behind everybody.
Yeah, and we have Jaden and JB and Kawahadi as well jumping in. Yeah, this is the main pit window right now. We've got a couple more going in behind as well. See how
Whoops, that's a terrible pit lane camera.
See how effective and efficiently everyone can get into their pit boxes, and most importantly, how quick everybody can enter the pit lane, because it's a nice challenging entry apart from that.
Jaden on his mounts, Jay.
Oh yeah, good point. Jaden's actually gone for a tyre change, which you can change tyres and you can fuel at the same time. And I don't know if anybody else has really thought of that. Like, Mid-Ohio does use a lot of rubber, and I suppose we'll find out at the end of next lap.
Demis is up as well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a great point to make, actually. Usually they don't take tyres, as Jamie puts a move on PVG, or is that PVG trying to put a move on him? Not sure.
PVG getting a move done just there by the looks of it. PVG is fresh out the pits, so yeah. I'll probably say it's PVG trying to put a move on Jamie now.
Leaders in, Stephen. And that breaks with the other 3 that made the 4 at the front. And they've carried on.
Now it's all up for Pete Newman. Pete Newman with a 1.1 second gap. So Wobbly is not going to have slipstream. But at the same time, Jamie Jeffrey, who is less than 4 tenths behind, is if he gets a good corner here, is going to have a monster run on Wobbly. Like, now it's time to make or break your lap times and take advantage of other people in the pits and traffic that they'll come out of.
So, a bit far away for Jamie Jeffrey at the moment. Whatever Wobbly has got with that setup, or his car control, has fired him out of keyhole very, very nicely. Look at that on the brakes. Good grief.
Jamie is actually fuel. I was listening to the engine there, and Jamie does seem to still be fuel saving at the moment, so he might be on the cusp of having an extra lap in here.
Well, it'd be a massive advantage if he did. It reduces his final pit stop. Let's see what they can manage. I suppose this will be a one-stop race for these guys, won't it? Because they'll just gun it for the remaining.
Well, Stephen Walker is out, and he's out in 4th place at the moment, so that just shows exactly how many
Oh.
people have pit right now. Pete Newman in the pits, JB Jeffrey in the pits. Wobbly's managed to get an extra lap by the looks of it. So now it's up to Wobbly to give us the lap of his life. It'll be interesting to see how close Pete Newman comes out with Stephen Walker.
That's a good point. So
I would laugh at him so much. Calculate that and just run out of fuel on this lap.
Oh dear.
Stephen Walker is being held up by somebody on the carousel at the moment.
Yeah, who is that? Someone in a Spyro? Oh, it's Dale.
That's
Dale.
Dale.
Yeah.
Dale moving out the way for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if how long. I just saw both the dots quite close together for a prolonged amount of time. As we're waiting for Pete Newman, there's Pete Newman. I think Stephen Walker's going to come out just ahead of him.
Ooh.
He does.
Wraps around him. Yeah. So Stephen.
What a pit stop.
Yeah.
By Stephen.
Really nice.
There's no place left for Wobbly when he comes back.
No, there's not.
Between you and them. He has to force himself back in by the looks of it. So it's now up to Stephen Walker to try and slow down everybody behind him somehow whilst not losing any positions himself. Just on the off chance Wobbly does come out behind them.
Now, Jaden Scotland has got Carl Hardy for company because Jaden took tyres. JB did not take tyres. JB did not take tyres. So he's got a bit of a gap at the moment and has leapfrogged over Jaden as a result of those pit stops. Found himself a Freddie Van Eekhoven to race with. But I don't know whether... What is the advantage of the tyres, do you think, Jay?
Last lap, 1 second.
What? That's enormous.
Yeah, JB last lap in a 1:31.8. Jaden's last lap was a 1:30.6.
Oh my!
Now there might be. Oh, and see that grip is now starting to go now. For those who didn't change tires, that corner just before Thunder Valley is absolutely notorious for running wide on. It's just the hill and the camber of it just loves to spit you out wide. But because you can fuel and take your tires at the same time, why not? Like take an extra 2-3 seconds doing your tires if it means that even if you're only going to get 4-5 tenths a lap quicker, it's an endurance race. You're going to get a lot of laps coming through here.
Is this 2 laps more?
This is 2 laps more for Wobbly.
That is insane. Surely he's got to be in this lap.
Well, yeah, unless he's got a solar powered car like Simon Trendle.
But his lap times are actually quicker than Stevens.
Right.
Well, very fractionally, we're talking hundredths, but that's...
Still. There he goes.
Wobbly
Here he
finally
goes.
in.
So he gets a speeding penalty.
So, you are? Yeah, pit lane penalty, yeah, totally. Absolutely spoil the party, wouldn't it? This is a crowded bit of track, this, and this is for 10th place. That is Michael Hall at the front of it, with PVG in the middle, and Jamie Wilson about to get alongside because that Audi's got some good grunt. Oh, not quite. It's not as...
Stephen Walker coming across the carousel now.
Alright, stick with these
See
guys
how close
for
Wobbly
a second.
gets.
Wobbly's moving. But he's not moving enough.
Oh, Wobbly's going to be behind.
Yeah. Behind all of them. So he's lost out there. There's another...
Yeah, but
sorry, go on.
If he can keep up with them right now and keep the tow,
He's done, isn't he?
he will have a real short pit stop at the end, and he will leapfrog them, most likely.
Right. Let's keep our eyes open for that. We're going to have to deal with the ego once he gets in this booth as well, if that happens. I'm not sure I can stomach that.
Yeah, well, let's just ban him from everything.
Yeah.
He helped us quite a lot last season for V8s, but yeah. Just forget about that. And
it's a 1,000 point penalty for Wobbly, isn't it? Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just because he's Wobbly.
Yep. Chris Jackson says the Wobbly love is still a thing. Yes, it is.
I just saw that. Yes, it is. Obviously.
Chris says Wobbly won't need another pit stop.
He will. Will he?
Wobbly has had to do a lot of extreme fuel saving in his first stint. If he can somehow replicate that and keep going till the end, it's going to be a very big ask for him. He'll need to get a tow from somebody towards the front. But like we said earlier, Wobbly does have a big advantage in terms of how many positions he has to be behind Pete Newman.
Yeah.
So as long as Stephen Walker keeps in front of him, I think Wobbly could afford to relax a little bit if he can tuck in behind somebody. So as JB DeJay serving a quick slowdown penalty there, allowing Jaden Scotland to get very close to him again.
I wonder where he's picked that up, the slowdown. Must have been as he came through after the S's and before Thunder Valley. You can cut that corner, can't you, before you go under the bridge? Or over the hump, rather.
Yeah, you can cut it a little bit.
Maybe he cut it a little too much. It's not on the event tracker at all, so it's not like a full off track or anything.
Yeah, I think Chris is right about the wobbly situation, because I just saw now that it's a 1 hour and 20-minute race and not a 1 hour and 30-minute race.
Yeah.
Which I'm used to with the V8. Sorry, that's mine being still on the other championship. So yes, Chris is right.
So it's catching up to Jamie Jeffrey now, 0.9 seconds. So it's going to be within the tow. So I think Wobbly will be pretty safe here. The only thing that I think can potentially decide this race for Pete right now, because everyone seems pretty consistent, is back markers and where the group catches them up.
Yeah, there's some coming. Yeah. So 2 work guard cars ahead. Andy Littler first, and then Fee second, providing Andy Littler is putting a move on Fee. That'll make the leaders happy, won't it? Seeing cars battling in front of them, that's a brilliant, positive thing for them.
I think they're going to get themselves ready to go to one side and potentially make life a bit easier for these 4.
Right,
They've been pretty good with it so far, especially during the last run. There's some brakes going on slightly.
Yeah, so that's the leader through. In fact, that's Andy Littler letting the first 4 cars through, definitely. It's 5 seconds back to Tony Walker. So that's them all through. So well done to the back markers there.
Perfect traffic management.
Yeah,
brilliant
absolutely.
Stuff from all involved.
Yeah, don't make Wobbly too happy, guys. I'm talking to the back markers. You should have put yourself between Jamie and Wobbly. Give him something to rant about, otherwise it's not going to be fun.
Yeah. Chris Jackson says it could be an epic finish if the others can stretch their fuel out to last without having a pit stop again. But
I don't think they will be able to.
No, I don't either. The TCRs are a bit of a monster like that. You'd have had to have started that as soon as you touched the gas pedal on the start line, which was clearly what Wobbly had in mind straight from the get-go. Oh, Jaden.
Oh.
Ooh.
We've got a bit close, a little bit of a contact there, but like the lightest of touches, and everyone survives. And this could be a really good battle until the end.
Yeah,
3 very quick drivers.
So JB at the front of this little queue has not changed tyres. Jaden has. Carl Hardy hasn't. That I can spot anyway. And that is Salvatore just behind them.
Jaden's going to have a good run here. He was literally on JB's bumper. I expect to see a move here unless Jaden's going to be looking at doing some fuel saving themselves.
So going back to my poll I've put up early, 41 minutes ago. I was talking about the championship. I think people thought it was the race, which is fine. We're gonna do both. So people are thinking at 50% over 8 votes that Stephen Walker will actually be the winner of this race, which is really interesting. Because as we just discussed, with Wobbly going over the halfway mark as a good shot at it as well. What are your thoughts, guys?
I think as much as it brings up a small amount of vomit in my throat, I think Wobbly has called this one, and he started.
Think something it would pass.
Yeah. I think it's something that he had already calculated, and it started right from the point where he touched the gas pedal on the start line, whereas everybody else is kind of reacting to that. As Jamie Wilson does his second stop, he was very, very early in his first stop though.
Oh, Jaden.
Oh, Jaden's having a go here. Let me get a better camera on. Oh, that's not a better camera. This
Yeah,
is.
yeah. JB was a bit sideways into turn one, and
Yeah.
and Jaden tried to take advantage of it.
Whoop,
But now
bit of touch.
it's Carl Hardy coming at it.
Yeah, Carl's not shy. Back on the gas.
I think that's by JB cooked pies and Carl's hungry.
Yeah. JB's got pork pies in the boot of his Elantra, and Carl's trying to catch him to steal them.
Okay, enough talk about food. I'm hungry now.
I am hungry as well. I've not had any tea.
I had a really nice bacon sandwich.
Oh,
it was
Oh, stop it! Come on.
garlic butter.
Oh, what are you trying to do to me?
I don't have anything to eat even.
single
I
leaf
can't
of
ultimately go make
spinach.
something. Ah, jeez.
Right, so round we go again. I mean, we're not going to see hardly any of these cars till quite late visiting the pits, even if they need to at all. Which I think they all will do. I think there's a second stop, as Jamie has already been in for his second. I think there's a second stop for the rest of them, with the exception of Wobbly. So this is going to be interesting.
Jamie's pretty close to Pete Newman. Sorry, Pete.
Jamie Jeffrey.
Oh,
sorry,
Jamie Jeffrey.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. There's too many Jamies.
Yeah, it's not as funny as it was the other week when I had to call everybody Jamie. Because they're not on the same bit of tarmac. Right, what's going on here again? Ooh. And that might give Carl the ability to just stick a nose in under Jaden here.
Yep. Now, which way does which way does JB choose? He can give the slipstream to one person and one person only.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he might go across to Carl, which he does, but then he goes back across to JB. Oh, such a tease JB is. Just like, he must feel like the Pied Piper right now.
Oh, and Jaden's gone too deep into that. Oh, no, he hasn't. Or has he?
Oh, look at that. That is fantastic racing.
It is. Oh, and Carl's won out eventually. At this round, anyway.
Yeah, if they were both by the side of each other through a few more corners, it could have given JB an opportunity to perhaps creep away, but Carl getting that move done, throttle modulation absolutely on point, as JB goes a little bit wide there, but keeps it on. And yeah, good passes. JB into the pits.
Maybe he's gonna change tires? What do you think?
Possible.
I feel there's probably not enough. Half an hour he might do. We'll see if he goes up on the jacks or if it's just a splash of fuel. It looks like it's just going to be a splash of fuel.
Yep,
And
definitely.
I feel JB might regret that by the end of the race, in my personal opinion. But we'll see what happens. He's had a really good race so far. It'd be a shame if tyres were to ruin that now.
Yeah, I mean, he was only stationary there for 7 seconds. So I think they threw the fuel at his windscreen and then he drove off.
Yeah, I think the call to change the
Or just he wound the window down and they said, sniff this, and then he was off again.
Wow.
curved cheeks. Yeah, okay. I think the right call was the one Jaden made, taking tires at the first stop, the long one.
Yeah, yeah.
If you had to change tires, I think it was the right time to do it. Now it's too late. But yeah, JB's car was pretty lively, especially at the back, so we'll see.
Well, it's going to remain lively, because he didn't change any tyres. I think Jay's still laughing at whatever I said.
Yeah, I've just got this visual of an open window and just a pit member with a bucket of fuel,
Yeah.
just chucking it straight at him. or like a scene from Zoolander or something.
PVG has gone to the pits, so that's another element of that battle. The Jaden Scotton at one time battle.
Yeah, an interesting way.
No,
It's
no,
something
no
that
tyres.
people.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just wondering if people were just feeling the effects of battling in twos and threes at the moment. Just would rather just get a chunk of clean air, or maybe they're just reacting to somebody else making a quick stop, realizing, oh, I might be losing a bit of time being this close to somebody in front, and just trying to stop themselves from getting undercut. So whoever started the pitting first has possibly started causing a chain reaction through the middle of this grid.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're all reacting to one another for sure. Sam, Wobbly's caught up with the back end of this little group now. He's caught Jamie Jeffrey.
Yeah, I think for Jamie Jeffrey that lost a bit of pace recently and backed up to Wobbly's, which is good for Wobbly's safe fueling. Which I'm not happy to say it. Oh, just leave. Yeah, that was almost the sand trap there. Careful.
Yeah, it wasn't far off it. I think he sent it on himself somehow. Leaving that final corner and going super wide for Stephen Walker there.
Oh, Wobbly getting a good run there.
Whoops, wrong car. Apologies. Yeah, I don't know that he's going to bother doing anything with it though, because he doesn't need to technically, does he? Let's see where he lifts.
As soon as you said that, Wobbly must be listening to you, because he's literally letting Jamie know that he's not wanting to put any risk between them at the moment. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Pete.
Yeah,
cool.
We'll have to ask Wobbly what does it smells behind Jamie, because
always
a unicorn fart, I'm not sure.
This is a family-friendly broadcast. We've been talking about the back ends of animals, and now. Well,
I'm talking about the back end of the car, not the animals. Jeez.
Got a vet here and a mechanic, it seems.
Can you imagine the unicorn actually at the fuel tank and just plunging each time he goes into the pits? That's very funny. I don't want to see the connection between the two of them though.
No,
but yeah,
definitely not.
hopefully Chris' kids Logan and stuff are at school and not actually watching.
Yeah, in bed. Well, I don't know how far behind.
Well, in the middle of the afternoon, I hope not. Or maybe they have a nap, but yeah.
So Chesney pops up for tyres. Obviously, had enough of whatever he was sliding around on.
Oh, wow, Chris.
What's that?
Okay, the joke was validated by Chris Jackson. Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
Right, so there's now a bigger gap formed between the first two and the second two. I mean, it's only 1.1 second, but that's enough, really, in a TCR.
Yeah, I foresee Pete Newman really pushing Stephen to the limits now. It's now up to Stephen if he just wants to keep pace going, because Wobbly's pretty safe where he is, or if he wants to try and slow Pete enough so that Jamie can get close once more. Jamie's within a second for literally a corner there.
Yeah, he's at certain points he's breaking it back into less than a second. I don't know whether he's had a few wobbles along the route. Maybe his tyres are feeling a little second hand underneath him. But he's at 0.9 now, so he is bringing it back. Maybe he just got the wriggle on, thinking Wobbly's going to overtake me in a second, so I need to sort this out. Daniel Lewis and JB passing Chesney, who's been in the pits. Carl Hardy's still got Jaden Scotton for company. Oh yeah, JB's back there now. I'm not sure why JB is a little bit further back than he was.
He has gone in for a splash of fuel.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. Me being stupid. He's been in twice, and others have only been in once around him, so that's why.
Yep, JB is actually the highest driver right now who has gone in twice. So that bucket of fuel through the windows done the trick.
Yeah.
Pete, can you confirm myself that Mr. Rob Thurland is actually a non-TCR driver?
Rob.
Oh yeah, I see. I'm understanding. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
I just saw that this is the registration for the race, so we can obtain the result at the end of the race. Sorry to interrupt the broadcast for
No,
that, but
that's cool.
that's all sorted.
Oh, you've done that, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, cool. I was going to do that as soon as the race finished. Thank you.
We're in the TCR league. Easy, eh?
Absolutely. It is when you got Sam as your web designer. Everything works lovely and smoothly. Yeah.
Yep.
Logan's at school, but he loves fart humour, so that's fine, says Chris Jackson.
How old is he? Because I feel like he's been a young child for a long time. So he's probably 20 now.
Yeah.
Top four, all within a second of each other after nearly 1 hour's worth of racing.
And they've got a very tidy lead over Tony Walker, who was bolted to them for a good proportion of that first stint before the pit stops. But he's now 7 seconds behind, and he's got a 3-second lead over Freddie, who's then got a gigantic 10-second lead over Carl Hardy and Jaden Scotton, who are kind of bringing Salvatore with them, who is 1 lap down. I mean, there's nothing to stop Salvatore making his way through on these if he's got the pace to do so. He's not in the battle, he's got a lap to recover, and if this was a NASCAR race, he would be allowed to unlap himself, really, wouldn't he, Sam? Those are the rules in NASCAR, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well, if he's faster than the other guy, just sure, make it fair,
it obvious and fair. Yeah,
go for it.
But go for it, yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing against that.
Oh, Dan is on the chat evening. We've already plugged SRL, mate. You're a bit late for that one. That's Dan Mould, everybody. Organiser of SRL Racing League, who race on a Friday, normally. They're starting up again, so get yourself signed up if you like TCRs. You were always here for a plug, Dan.
Not a bad one.
Way. Right, David Flashy Airs into the pits here. Is he going to take tyres? Nope, he's going to keep it going on the tyres he's got. How long is he going to stay stationary for? That's quite a lot of fuel, actually, compared to some of the guys around him. Yeah.
Yeah, this late in the race, you're not really going to feel the benefits of pitting for tyres at the same time as fuel.
No.
So I expect a lot of, from here on out, just little splashes, or in JB's case, a bucket of fuel to go in, just to keep them going till the end.
Right, that is Paul, I think, is it? Yeah, Paul Hurley into the pits for his second splash of fuel. Yet to see any of the front runners. We will probably not see Wobbly at all. Let's just go on board with him so that the viewers can see how much he's fuel saving. Front three are very close now, guys. That second gap has gone.
Yeah, Stephen 2 tenths slower than Pete in the last lap, so I do wonder if Stephen's trying to get these two congested together a little bit behind. Possibly take advantage of Jamie Jeffries' love for racing and battling and seeing if something happens there. But so far so good for Geodesic. They've got this one well under control.
Take it you're laughing at what you've just read.
Oh yes, oh obviously yes. This is brilliant. Just BSTV in a nutshell for you.
It is, yeah. Chris keeping the BSTV spirit alive in the chat, folks. We can't possibly tell you what it is. This is a family show, obviously.
Yeah, you've got one professional commentator in the booth with Jay. You've got 2 clowns, Pete and myself,
Yeah.
and you've got funny people in the chat. That's awesome.
Well, my good Christian values won't allow me to delve down into that level.
Yeah, you'd have to stoop pretty low. So these guys, they're still doing really good lap times though. They're in the 129s, 130s. The top 2 drivers, Stephen and Pete, did identical lap times last time round. Not a surprise really.
Got Michael Hall, championship leader in the pro-ams at the moment, going into the pits. Jaden Scotland still within half a second of Carl Hardy in front as well. Got Euro passing by. We're going to have JB soon as well.
David Ayres is still in the pit. Oh no, he's gone in again.
Yeah, this is a third pit stop from David, so I wonder if
What's
if
that
something
about?
went wrong.
Rob into the pits. Pit stop for him. Rob tried to give me all his excuses before he started racing tonight about VR and all the other stuff, connection issues. I was like, I don't want to hear it. Just get racing. Right, let's go back to the front.
Get out there.
Yeah, let's get racing.
And still nobody from this top 4 jumping into the pitch yet. I do still have a feeling it's going to be Stephen first, but yeah, they're just all really close in pace with each other at the moment, not giving each other an inch.
No.
And it's almost like they're all 4 of them at a poker table, and they're just trying to check each other out, see what's going on, see who's going to make the first move, the first bluff, and yeah, nobody seems to be wanting to show their hands at the moment.
So we're gonna try to play a nice game between us 3. Winner gets nothing, but top 4 are at the end of the race. Top four at the end of the race. Just try to guess. I will go first. I play my cards first, and I will say Wobbly, Pete Newman, Jamie Jeffrey, and Stephen Walker 4th.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go Wobbly, Stephen, because Stephen's, even though he's been leading the race for like a million years, I still think that he's done enough somehow. I just feel like that. And then Pete, and then Jamie.
I'm gonna go with Wobbly, Pete, Jamie, Stephen.
Wobbly, Pete, Jamie, Stephen. So you're putting Stephen at the back of the queue and Wobbly at the front, same as Sam, right? And with a bit of a shuffle in the middle. Okay, cool. Dan Mould says, Jesus, Draper, I thought you'd left Earth. Because he's not seen him racing for ages either.
So the only reason I put Stephen at the back is because I fear with pitting early and being at the front, it will have a few seconds more fuel to put in compared to Pete and Jamie. I think Jay, you're going with the same thinking. Much. Yeah.
Okay. So.
And it's so close between them that it's just 1 second more in the pace, and you're just behind the 2 other. So. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I thought it was gonna be a fun game to play with 14 minutes to go.
No, I think you're right.
Before the end of this season, this is. This went fast again.
Yeah, the whole season's gone quickly. Not just this race. What? Chris Jackson asked for the last lap pit stop to be put on the screen. It's there now. Full-on conversation going on between Dan and Mark Draper. I think I just need to get a room personally. So Deck Crowther away again after his pit stop.
No, go in, boys. Chat on the chat. It's fine.
So Jaden Scotland, Carl Hardy, and Tony Walker, and he says it's Tony Walker, all last in lap 23. And as soon as I say that, Jaden Scotton is in the pit lane. So I do wonder if following that we're going to get Carl Hardy and Tony Walker in, and then it'll be the decision-making time by the top 3 after that. I feel it's going to be in the same order that we see it there on the screen now. But if somebody ends up confusing us and put it in a lot earlier, then it could make that that top 4 a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Where's JB at the exit of Jaden? Because they were pretty close to each other,
Ooh,
and
they're
JB's
close.
gonna be, yeah, not that close.
Not close enough, I don't think. Because don't forget, Jaden's got newer shoes on.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised they're this close together, to be honest. But I think Jaden was doing a little bit of fuel saving behind one of the pack of cars.
Hang on, is Dan trying to recruit me?
We had 2 jobs. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. Added another one in.
You got 24 whole hours in a day. It's fine.
Yeah, this is true. Right, so we've now got just over a second's gap between Pete Newman and Jamie Jeffrey. So, Jamie Jeffrey, are his tyres so second-hand now that he's losing it a bit? In fact, the top 3 are starting to spread out a bit now.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for our prediction, Jay.
But it's looking great for me.
Still one more pit stop to do, and with tyres looking the way they are at the moment after the longer stints, it's remember Mid-Ohio is a track which has very high tyre deg, a bit kind of like a Thruxton, but it's a bit more even across all of the tyres. Like that pit lane entry on older tyres is going to be even more of a challenge than it already is when you're trying to take it at pace.
Yeah,
we approach the final 10 minutes of the race, currently on lap 46.
Was that Freddie nearly putting a move on someone? No. Where's Demis gone? There. Right. So this is starting to hot up at the back end of this little field, but he is making his way through.
In the pits.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, good call.
Pete's the first one who's gone in, so this will be interesting. None of the other 3 have decided to go for this at all. And probably half a second behind Jamie, 2 seconds behind Stephen. I have a feeling that Jamie and Stephen are both going in at the same time.
Wow, that was quick. Oh my word. If JB just got a bucket thrown through the window of his car, then I think that was just a teacup of fuel for Pete Newman. Only 5 seconds stationary.
There was a
one of those little cups of cream
yeah.
they give you in the hotels. And
he peeled the foil off the top. Yeah.
With shell written on the front of it or something.
Yeah. That's funny stuff. That is
Chris
funny
going
stuff.
for Wobbly, Walker, Newman, Jeffrey in that order. Top 4.
So he goes with speed. Nah, don't like that.
Hi, Fred. Welcome to the TCR Prius Championship.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like absolute hell.
Horrendous. Yeah.
Be like a Porsche Michelin League or some. Oh, it'd be like a group of angry
has
bees.
he done it, or is
Wow.
Is this a cutback?
It is, and it's a drag race. Drag race for turn number 4. You want to try and get as right as you can here. Travel less road. And how wide can Jaden make that corner without any contact? And
that's nice.
Carl's gonna have you up and under.
Oh.
On the gas sooner, and brilliant stuff from Jaden.
Yeah, and block the next corner, which is perfect.
That is one.
Oh my word! Oh,
that was one of the best parts of the race, honestly.
Yeah, agree.
Really, really nicely controlled there. Watched his lines, both kept it respectful, and Jaden positioning his car on that uphill.
Maybe he's listening because he flashed his lights.
Freddie Van Eekhoven forgot where the gas pedal was just for a millisecond there as he pulled out of his box. back at the front here. And where... So 16 seconds back down the road from those three is Pete Newman.
Just having a quick look at the laps, and Stephen Walker put in a 1:30.8, which is actually quicker of the front three.
Oh, yeah.
So now that Pete's done his pit stop, we should expect to see Stephen try and put that little extra bit of oomph on. I know Wobbly's going to be wanting Jamie Jeffrey to push on a little bit as well to keep in the tow and remain fast. It looks like Jamie Jeffrey's actually, or was, for a second, getting away from Wobbly. As we're watching here, Cal Hardy trying to return the favour here on Jaden Scott and not quite able to get it in, and he slots in behind. He's got 6.5 minutes to try and make this count, so probably another 4 laps, depending on where the leaders are at the moment.
You just say Carl Hardy couldn't get it in?
I hope not, but if it is, then that's the way it is, and I've ruined my good Christian status.
But made a legend out of yourself at the same time. Oh yeah. Right. Let's have a look at these front runners. That's Demis staying wide. There are big gaps forming here now. Stephen Walker has decided he's checking out. He's got nearly 2 seconds on Jamie Jeffrey, who's got a second over Wobbly. Wobbly is probably, I don't know, listening to some Dutch rap music or something in that car at the moment. Can't hear it over his radio at the moment, but yeah.
Got Mark thinking that Wobbly's not going to pit either, but Wobbly does need to get a bit closer to Jamie here if he's going to make it work. Or in reality, actually, he just needs to keep in front of Pete and keep within 10-15 seconds of Stephen before he pits.
Yeah, that's a very...
Stephen's in.
Oh, that was
And
nearly
Jimmy's
a
in.
crash.
Oh,
That was
that was
nearly...
so
Oh, that was
close.
close.
It was.
I need compromises Wobbly a little bit.
Oh, and Demis just nearly going into the side of... God, can you imagine if Demis accidentally went into the side of Wobbly there?
Yeah, that would not be
that's
good.
a 10. That's a 10.
That's a what?
5
Yeah,
minutes to
that's
go.
a tenner.
That's a tenner.
Straight away. I was just checking that these two didn't pop up for tyres or anything like that. Wow.
No, and
both
almost the
away.
same pit box. And is Pete Newman. And
Ooh.
yeah, I feel like Pete and Chris are right. As of now, it's not over yet, but
No.
Great section of the race there from Stephen Walker, though, to actually be a bit further in Pete. Sorry, in front of
I'm
Pete.
sorry, what did you just say?
Oh my God.
Family show,
my,
but...
as in... yeah, no, sorry, I must have...
Family show.
So my Dutch from Zandvoort come over there, and
Yeah.
I got everything lost in a translation. Van Nistelrooy, Burkamp, there we go, it's out my system. Stephen Walker further in front of Pete Newman than when he jumped into the pit. So great set of laps just there from Stephen, and absolutely smashing mine and Sam's predictions to the ground and stamping on it within an inch of its life.
And it does seem like I know more about racing than you two.
Well,
I will just call that luck.
I mean,
Yeah, let's do that.
if I don't agree, I'm not back here next season. So yeah, sure, Pete.
Oh, yeah, that's class. What's that? Team Tactics. Steve, back them up now, maybe. Oh, right.
I don't think he needs to.
No, I don't think he needs to either. Where they are right now, Gio are securing the team championship by having their cars in first and second. They're securing Wobbly at the top of the pro and overall championships. I don't know what this does to Michael Hall in the Pro-Am. I don't know what you score off the top of my head for 12th place, and whether that is enough to stay ahead of the rest of the Pro-Am championship.
I'm gonna go check
It's
that right
Tony,
away.
Isn't it? Is it Tony in second place in that championship?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, so 12th place is 172.
Okay.
And Tony is 5th, so that's 214.
That's not enough to bridge the 90 points, is it? So Michael is still in the driving seat for the Championship of Pro-Am.
We're coming up to the final 2 minutes of the race. Just watching where Wobbly's just passed. He's just passed the start of turn 1 now.
Yeah, there's 2 to go. This plus
As this
one
isn't
more, I
a heat
think.
racing,
Yeah.
then once it's the last lap, it doesn't matter if the time is hit. It's still got to do the rest of the lap past the timer. This single race event today. Which I wish iRacing would make that a setting just to keep it consistent through the whole season.
I don't like the
Isn't
fact...
it the same with Heat Racing?
It's the same in the last race with heat racing, yeah, as a standard race. What I'd like to see for iRacing is, instead of having to do heat racing, have multiple race single sessions where that doesn't happen. I think that's something that they need to develop. It's very much on a NASCAR dirt racing format for heats. I think they need to do something a little bit different as Dale Benison stays out of the way of the racers passing him, because this is for good points. This is for 5th overall in the race, and the top of the Pro-Am Championship, right? Not Championship, Pro-Am standings in this race right here. Tony Walker being the lead Pro-Am driver. Freddie Van Eekhoven wants to peel that out of his grip at the moment. Are we going to see the flag? We should see white flag. Yeah, I just saw it.
Waved, yep.
Yeah. Last lap. Just nipping back to this because I do feel like Freddie's got it in him to put some good moves here onto Tony Walker. Oh, that's not a move you want to do.
That's a nice move.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully you have his consent, because that's a bit...
Yeah. At least buy him dinner first.
But he did have a slowdown there as he was going through that corner.
Did he?
Yeah,
right, that's going to break that up then. Okay.
Yep.
Let's go back to this then. So I don't know that Jamie Jeffrey's got anything left for Pete Newman. Stephen Walker is enough ahead as long as he doesn't throw it into China Beach or something like that. And Wobbly's got a nearly 15-second advantage now.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic first stint from Wobbly, and coming up to the last few corners as he rides it down Thunder Valley, where we're all secretly hoping we hear the car sputter and spit out now. But after so many race wins and no championship to show for it, in 2 corners time, that changes.
Yeah, no longer the fastest driver never to win. Wobbly over the line for a championship and a race win here at Mid-Ohio.
Massive congratulations to Wobbly all through the season. Fantastic entertainment, fantastic battling, and yeah, he finally has his hands on the wood.
He does. He does.
Why do you say finally? Because I know they've seen each other, so...
This is a good Christian broadcast.
Oh dear.
Jamie Jeffrey over the line, Tony Walker taking the win in the Pro-Ams today.
Nice. Very nice.
Freddie Van Eekhoven second there. Just so we've got Jane Scotland and Cal Hardy fighting for that podium place, and Jane Scotland's just going to get it. Fantastic racing from both of them on that final pass of the race, with a great 9th place overall to Jamie DeJay and Pete Van Gool round up the rest of that top 10.
Yeah, very good. Daniel Lewis will be the top AM class driver over the line, provided he does make these last 2 turns. Should be no danger for a man of his capability.
Yep, Rob's already finished the race anyway from a
Oh yes, sorry, yeah,
an extra lap down, so
Yeah.
Daniel could moonwalk across that line if he wanted to,
Yeah.
just as long as he doesn't do a Chesney.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, lose the position. Oh dear.
I'm never going to let him live that down.
No, no. It will live long in our memory. Right, so that, folks, is the end of this season. Let's go through the finishing order of this race. So, Wobbly brings home the win in multiple ways for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. His teammate, Stephen Walker, multiple previous champion, comes home second. And between them, I think they've wrestled the team championship away from Pete Newman and Michael Hall. Pete Newman finished third on the bottom step of the podium tonight for Result X Pure Sims. Jamie Jeffrey finished fourth for Coupes and Convertibles Racing. And then we get into the Pro-Ams. So Tony Walker there, top of the class tonight. Fifth overall for Result Clothing iRacing team. Freddie Van Eekhoven, second step of that podium. Sixth overall for Hydro Race Racing Forces. And Jaden Scotton in a heated battle for most of the race, actually. There with Carl Hardy. He finished in seventh place for Flatline Racing. Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result finished eighth. JB DeJay, ninth overall. Great result for BSTV Esports. Pete Van Gool, 10th for Result Clothing iRacing team, with Euro Larkinen in 11th for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Michael Hall finished 12th. I'm a bit surprised he's not further up, but maybe that was a tactic he was calling for Result X Pure Sims. Jamie Wilson, 13th for Team Chimera. And then the first of our AM-Class drivers and AM-Class champion now, Daniel Lewis, 14th for Blade Designs SRL with Rob Sutherland. Second in class tonight, 15th overall for RD Simsport 2. Demis Digitalar, 16th overall for Hydro Race Racing Forces with Deck Crowther, 17th for Blade Designs SRL. Paul Hurley, 18th. And bottom step of that AM-Class podium for just an average sim racer. Another Blade Designs car. Catch my breath. Where am I? There. Salvatore Gueli finished 19th for TRP tonight. And then Chris Dixon. No, did I miss someone? No, I didn't. Chris Dixon finished 20th for Work Guard by Result with David Ayres behind him for Safeguard by Result in 21st. Chesney Vandenbroeke 22nd for Rita Engineering Esports. Andy Littler finished in 23rd for Work Guard. His teammate Fiona Siddons finished in 24th. Dale Bennison finished 25th for Spyro by Result. And Rene Earhart, we heard from him right at the start, made a pit lane error, or rather a fueling error. Wow, that was... It was good in points, wasn't it, guys? But there was definitely a winning tactic there, and that was to fuel save for a massive amount of time right at the start. Is there a way that any kind of fuel strategy setup that we can give this league, Sam, could ever overcome that possibility happening?
Honestly, I don't know. They always find a way to save enough fuel to actually make the race.
Yeah.
On a one-stopper. So, I mean, fair play to Wobbly because he did it. You know, he's the only one that tried it and he's made it. So, I don't know. I like it. It makes people that can feel safe actually rewarded for what they do. So
Yeah, true. But with a 14 or 15 second gap at the end of the race, no, 14 seconds it was at the end of the race, Jay, that's a pretty dominant way to finish an endurance race, isn't it? I mean, that's an entire pit stop's worth of time, really.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have to commend Aubrey on the absolute masterclass and fuel saving there, whilst keeping up with the lead group. It's like from some people's point of view, like the racing shouldn't have to depend on the fuel saving. I mean, look at Formula One trying to make Monaco more exciting by putting more pit stops in. Then a virtual safety car comes along, which causes everyone to pit right at the beginning anyway, and use one of those one stops. Like people will always try and find a way to sort of like use those loopholes, and use those to the advantage. So, but I mean, it's been one of the cleanest races of the season, in my opinion. But a lot of the time as well, it's just a case of Geo had the the race under control from the get-go, and they performed the job of keeping it nice and comfortable, absolutely superbly, and worthy winners today.
Yeah, absolutely, and very well said. Right, you might want to lower the volume on your headphones.
Why are you pulling me towards this booth while I was still in a conversation?
I know, I love doing that. And you weren't swearing, which is unusual. But
Almost.
you are live. Please do not swear.
Oh, I could swear last week because you weren't here.
I know, but I'm here now. So, clean sweep tonight. Absolutely mopped up. You've got a 13.96 second win advantage. You've claimed the championship. You've claimed the race victory. You've claimed the team championship as well. What on earth are you going to do to make room for that trophy in your house?
Stick it in my arse. And that is not cursing.
In what world is
We
that?
knew it.
What? Oh dear my. Oh well. That's the end of that then, folks. Good grief. Good grief.
Oh, we're going to get sponsored by someone dodgy next season, aren't we?
Probably, yeah.
That's the
We got
So-
this Dutch company called Easy
Well-
Toys. I mean, you should Google it.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Well,
a
Jay,
lube
if you haven't
company or
watched the
something.
broadcast from years ago from us, you can see Pete racing, and you can
Yeah.
see some of his puzzles ships. They were pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, the
Do you remember
the
that?
preparation H one on the whole was a really good sponsor.
On the whole, wow.
Did you like Pete? Do you remember
Sorry,
that?
I can't claim
you had-
that for my own. That was Jamie Wilson's joke, by the way, when he got in the interview room that day. But yeah, carry on. Oh dear.
So, do you remember that broadcast you had to delete because you made an inappropriate joke?
It was you that made the naughty joke. I had to delete that. I had to try and erase internet history in order to get rid of that one. Good
Oh, it didn't work
grief.
because it wasn't Twitch.
Well, I know, and that's permanent. But anyway, so I have to say, and we all had to say, fantastic fuel saving capability. At the very end of the race, what did you have left in the tank?
About a liter and a half, I think. About a liter, I think.
What's that?
So
A lap?
that almost, yeah. Well, I think it was 0.8 lap of
Okay.
a tank left. So I was pretty safe. Well, normally I don't. Well, I do fuel calculate a little bit. I was looking at the numbers. It's like, well, this seems doable. And then I felt like freaking Spencer because he does that.
Yeah.
So I was doing the math, and then I was out in the last like 10 minutes on practice, and I tried it, and I thought, well, I'm basically gonna be about 0.2 seconds or 3 seconds down,
Mhm.
and if I manage to stay in the group, then I'll be fine. So Steven had a really good lap on the qualification. I think I was on the same pace, but it was just him on me, and Pete was quick as well. But so he got to run on me, and I was like, well, this is perfect. I didn't want to make it too. I didn't want to make it too obvious that I was not. I fought it a little bit, but I gladly let him by because I didn't want him to be behind me and realize that you could do a one stopper, because it wasn't that hard, to be fair.
Mhm.
It was saving a lot, but keeping up with the pack, sometimes you had to push a little bit. But I think it was saving every corner basically, and then it made, it was, I think, the better strategy. And
Oh, without a doubt. You just got to look at the finishing order and the time that you had in hand.
But it was a little bit stressful because I kept looking at the numbers, and then sometimes I had to push one lap, and I kept encouraging Jamie Jeffrey to go quicker because
Right,
he fell off. He fell off Pete Newman a little bit, and then I was like, "Oh, go quicker!" We keep going. And I mean that was the stressful bit a little bit, and sometimes I forgot what my brake marker was when I didn't feel safe. So I've been doing that for like 45 laps. And then suddenly I realized I was falling off a little bit too much, and I needed to change the brake marker and needed to change the bit where I lifted, and that completely put me off guard because it was completely in my system doing it like that. But yeah, well, it was a bit boring to do, but yeah, sometimes you have to do boring stuff, right?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where if you hadn't done this strategy and it hadn't worked out for you, you'd have been kicking yourself. That was
Yeah, I was a bit I was like halfway through the stint. At the first, I was like, this is a dumb idea. Why am I doing this right now? Because probably my position that I was in was fine, but then I would have tried to fight it with Pete, and this was way safer as well.
Yeah, true. Right, so Gio managed to, in the last race, also overcome Result X Pure Sims for the team championship. You had a little bit of help from Sam Blees across the season, but not much. It's mostly yourself and Stephen, really, isn't it?
Stephen is really excited that we won this.
Ah, right, okay.
Honestly, because he never won a team championship. So I won it with Tyler several times.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and well, Stephen never did. He won like 3 championships like in a row, and then he never won again. Or maybe last season he won. Or did he? I can't remember.
Don't know.
No, Miguel won.
Whose is the team? Because obviously you now get a trophy for the team. Who gets that?
Stephen gets it.
Stephen,
fine.
right? Because I have him down as a Spectre driver in my head, from history.
But he isn't, obviously, because he's a Hydro Race Geodesic driver. What's the team name again? Hydro Race
He
Geodesic
doesn't
Racing.
even know his own team name.
No, because like sometimes it's Geodesic, and sometimes it's with the racing.
Hydro Race, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I'll send one way. I've already got Stephen's address, obviously, because he's won so many of these championships. Yeah, it's. Do you have anybody you want to shout out to regarding any of the championships that you've managed to win tonight?
Well, obviously Stephen for this last race, because he knew I was fuel saving, obviously, and he took the lead, and he did save a little bit, but not as much as I did. And because he kept the pace at a certain level, I was definitely able to keep up, and that really helped. Well, Gio for having us as team members, Sam and Jay for being in the booth, not you.
No, of course not.
and I was secretly DM Jay like the other week, I think last week, where he did the lead commentating for the first time, and I gave him a big compliment because he's the only one professional here right now. I know from all 4 of us in the broadcast, but he's the only one who actually pays attention.
Yeah.
So
that's
really
true.
good job on your first season. So I hope that you continue doing this, Jay. It's been a blast listening back to broadcasts.
So I wasn't listening. What was you saying?
You know what happens. You know it comes now, right?
Go on, give it your best one.
Fuck you.
So Jay,
The other. Well, let me finish the
I don't want
the
to.
other drivers. Well, stop. The other drivers that being here, lovely to see. We had such a great field. JB had a really good finish. Tony had a really good finish. Also, really good to see that as well. And especially the back markers were really, really patient with us today, because I think they realized it was still on from me and Pete, and a little bit on the far side for Steven. So greatly appreciate that as well. And I want to thank our sponsor, which we don't have.
Yes.
So if you want to sponsor us, don't, because it's a bad idea.
Oh dear. We're not going to win any then. But great season. Sam, you got any insults for Wobbly?
I will keep that private.
Okay, fair enough. Good call. Good call. In that case,
After 53 wins, I finally won the team championship.
yeah.
Like the championship.
Yep. It's been a long time that you've been one of the fastest drivers never to win this championship, and now I'm going to have to colour all your numbers in, providing you return to us in future seasons, in yellow, because you're now our new, current and reigning champion of TCR Challenge Cup.
Hey, well, yeah.
And people watching the broadcast, if you don't like Wobbly, put a thumbs up.
Yeah. Hang on.
Well, yeah, put a thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, put a thumbs up. I've done mine, right? Okay, that's good. You can't throw thumbs up.
I think that it's, to be fair, like, that's one comment I have to make, and also for the V8 guys who never did this. If you look back to the broadcast, if you look back to FOD, please either subscribe if you haven't, but also press that like button, and even maybe leave a comment to get that algorithm a little bit more towards our favor.
Absolutely.
I've been
Well said.
saying this for years.
Yeah.
Yes,
Too right, he has. He says it every bloody race. PVG saying thanks to everybody in the booth, but not you, Wobbly. So I like PVG ever so slightly more.
Oh, PPG, fuck you again.
Oh dear, funny stuff. Right, in that case, we're going to let you go and shower yourself in champagne and do all sorts of weird stuff that people
I
do
can't. I
where
have to
you are.
go running tomorrow.
Oh, well, that sounds like a you problem. In that case, we will see you hopefully this time next season defending your championship. I think we may end up with some of the fast names back again. We may end up with some
Yeah,
Simsport drivers. We may end up with some Impulse drivers. Now you're getting scared, aren't you?
no, because it's like in the middle of the holiday, and I can never do like the full season.
Oh, dude, he's already given us the excuses, Sam.
That
Wow.
sounds like an excuse to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I get like 6 drop weeks, then I'm fine.
No.
If we introduce
no,
that,
no.
I'll be okay.
Okay. In that case, your current and new reigning champion, folks, Wobbly Kneecaps.
Bye.
He's gone. And the clap, because he's gone. Right, excellent. Maybe he has the clap. I don't know. Right. Next into the booth, we're gonna... What? It was brutal, wasn't it? We're next into the booth. We bring in someone who's very, very used to accepting trophies and championships, but not this season. Other than you're going to end up, apparently, according to Wobbly, with the team trophy. It is actually a trophy. So you
Oh, is
how
there?
many have you already got?
I've got two main championship trophies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 17. Hang on, they're right next to me. Hang on. 17 and 18. Yeah.
Right. You didn't get one of the plastic ones, did you?
No, I only got your wood.
Yeah, oh yeah, you did. Sorry, yeah. So you're gonna have a third one eventually, which is gonna be the team championship trophy. It all came
I'm
together.
buzzing for that.
Yeah, it was a slow burner really because Result X Pure Sims had it all season. Jay, do you feel a bit put out because your previous team didn't actually manage to run away with that trophy?
Obviously, previous allegiances, but you know, I'm in the booth now, so I must be neutral unless it's against Wobbly. Apparently, this is what the contract
that's
says,
part
right?
of the contract.
They're the rules.
Why is it written in? Why is it written in blood? But anyway, like you know, it's an absolutely fantastic end to the season. It's always nice to see championships going straight to the wire and a very controlled race for Geo. So very well done, Stephen. Much
thanks,
deserved.
mate. Yeah, it was. Like Pete says, I think the last 2 rounds have been, I think, our best rounds for almost the entire season in terms of a team perspective. I feel like if I remember last week we had double 1-2s, was it?
Yes.
I think, and then we closed the gap in the teams championship, and we knew what we needed to do this week. And I went back to an older setup from Portimao, which is my favourite track, and I just got more out of the car instantly. And so like we went in, and Wobbly was like, "Oh, by the way, I figured this out," and I was like, "God's sake, I just haven't had time to practice any fuel saving." Tactics wise, I think we played it quite well. I got a good pole position. If one of us was on pole, that would have been good. Because obviously we take the points away from Pete. And I think I led most of the laps apart from pit stops, and then the last couple of laps when Wobbly, he didn't have to pit. So he's helped me out a lot over the years in terms of, well, a lot of things really. So I knew I'd have to have won the race, and those two would have had to have some sort of incident and been below 10th place for me to even get close to winning the championship. So I was like, look, I'm more than happy to help you out and do what you want me to do. So I just controlled the pace at the front and see what would happen. And luckily it worked out for us both. Like I say, we took the teams, and Wobbly finally won a TCR championship.
Yeah. Stranger things. We must be at sea because that's where stranger things happen. And Sam, it's been a very professional team performance by Gio, a controlled one at the end of the season. You've driven in loads and loads of like rather large scale team championships in over history. You know, it's not easy, is it, getting all your drivers to do what you need them to do in order to take the trophies and the points at the end of these things?
Well, especially helping Wobbly. I don't know what you
I
think
know,
about me.
crazy, absolutely insane.
No,
I had
honestly, that
to.
was good.
It's returning the favour.
Well,
No,
don't return
it
too
was
many, will
nice.
you? Yeah, because we've now got to put up with his ego for at least one full season. That's like 3 months.
One full year, I think.
Well, probably a year. Yeah, he'll milk it for as long as he can. I wonder if we can like egg him on enough to make him race and retain his title. He probably won't do that, will he? But yeah, fantastic season overall. You know, with a few different race finishes, or rather, a little bit more. I'm going to say it. A little bit more luck. Not that you need it. It could have been your season because you weren't that far off in the end, were you?
No, the luck eluded me. I had a few races where, you know, like you say, the luck abandoned me, and I either got taken out or ended up getting drive-throughs. I think I had a couple of races where I had a drive-through in each of the race, and yeah, it could have been a bit better had I didn't really have the pace for whatever reason at the start of the season either. I was struggling, and then from halfway on, I've been really way too busy to really put any more time in it other than it's doing a 10:45 p.m. Official on the Tuesday. As my practice for the race. Luckily, obviously, I've been driving the Honda a long time. I've got a lot of setup, so I can, you know, figure it out on the fly. But yeah, shout out to everyone else that's just been really quick. It's been really competitive. Obviously, there's been a few races where one person's dominated, but overall, it's still been really, really good over the season. Like a few incidents here and there that probably could have been avoided, but that happens anywhere, and that's all been taken care of, and everyone's had, you know, respect since then. And overall, yeah, I would say it could have been worse. It could have been better. It's just one of them seasons. But like I said, I'm more than happy to just go away with the teams championships because it's been so friggin' long, and I finally got one. Like, oh, so good.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's good. There'll be some other trophies to win for some other little bits of wood in the not too distant future. But keep your eyes peeled, folks, on all the Discord chats for details of that. It's been another fantastic season for yourself, for Gio, and we hope that you return next season and try and retain the team trophy, and you know, deter Wobbly from winning the individual one so that we can get some like, you know, quiet time. But yeah, it's fantastic. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, just a massive shout out to obviously you guys, Jay for stepping into the booth. Like, I know he likes racing, so difficult decision, I'm sure, but brilliant when he stepped in, and he's done brilliant. Obviously yourself, I know you put a lot of time and effort into this, and we all really appreciate it. Sam for being about and obviously helping out as well. I know there's been a lot of changes and stuff, so again, just thank you to all of you for putting it on, so we get to watch the videos back and show off show our families and all that stuff, and be like, look, I'm on telly, kind of thing. So yeah, just just massive, because you know it's a very niche thing that we all do. Well, it's a bit less niche now, actually, isn't it? But the broadcasting thing is a bit more niche. So you know, we all appreciate it, and that we get to the opportunity to do that, and not only that, but just have a league where we can race pretty well together. Yeah, so yeah, first off that, and then just to Carl for doing many a practice lobby, and we all get together in there, great community spirit and everything. People join and stuff like that. That's great. Jay, I know you do a lot of TCR stuff, and you've helped in the past with getting people in, and then just the rest of the drivers. My brother as well for finishing off the season strong. He had a good result today and got second in the pro-ams. many battles up and down with the guys, and yeah, just overall, just thank you to everyone for continually showing up and taking the time out of their evenings and stuff to do it. It's a lot of fun, and it helps life go by better.
Yeah, this is a community, and all the stuff you've just said is right. Sometimes people struggle in their private lives, and this is a good escape. It's not an avoidance. It's just that little bit of time where you can pop your headset on, zone out, do your own thing. A little bit of therapy for a lot of people, I think.
I couldn't agree more, Pete. This is my escape very much. Things have been difficult this year, but without this, it would have been worse. So I appreciate it again for you guys and everyone else racing.
Yeah, and all that does is fuel our want to do this a lot more and for a lot longer. So thank you for those kind words, and we will hopefully see you in the next season of the TCR Challenge Cup. That'll be season 21, folks. Unbelievable,
Wow.
really. But the luckiest man in Christendom, Stephen Lucky Wookie Walker, is going to depart us now. Thank you, Stephen.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Right, we'll bring in next very quickly because we are going to run out of time in the slot. Welcome to Mid Conversation. Always love that. Daniel Lewis, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Evening. Let me find you on track before you talk to us about. Let's talk about the race first. The race start happened, and something happened at the very, very beginning. You came together with, I think you got a nudge and a push round or something like that.
Yeah, so I did.
Yeah.
I didn't have a call left. So
Okay.
at first, I thought it was Michael because Michael was on the right of me. I thought he hit the rear right of me, but no. When I saw the replay, it was Jamie.
Right. Okay.
Came up the inside. So he's messaged me. He said he thought I was staying mid.
Yeah.
But I had no call to say he was there. But I don't know if you saw my message at the beginning of the broadcast.
No. No.
So I did some sums, and I thought I can't lose this championship. So you had a message saying it's on like Donkey Kong.
Fair enough.
So I was going to race today,
Right.
and then I thought so. And then once I got turned, I thought right now my goal is to come first in AMS.
Oh, right. Okay. Well. Well done.
Yeah.
We'd already done the calculation, hadn't we, Jay? In terms of it was impossible for you to lose this without everybody getting.
Apart from me getting disqualified.
Well,
by
that
swearing
could
and
have
stuff
happened.
like that.
Yeah. Like Wobbly's going to get his 1,000-point penalty and come last.
Yeah, still possible.
Still possible, yeah, absolutely. You've had a great season. There is no way on God's green earth that you are staying in AM class next season. You have got to move up.
Well, I've discussed this with Paul.
Right. Okay.
Hey, and I said, well, I might want to defend my championship.
Oh.
And I said, what happens if I change cars?
Yeah.
But no, I'm not changing cars. I'm going up.
Right. Okay.
I'm
Well, the
happy to go
Audi's
up.
done you very well. You are regularly, whether that's through luck or good judgment, in that pro-am field at some point, either in qualifying or in the race. Yeah, there's been some individual races where you've struggled or you've had incidents, but on the whole, you have dominated that AM class this season, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. I've had it's been an amazing season. This season in iRacing, I've just jumped up.
Right. Yeah.
My iRating's jumped up. In everyone that I race with, they've all said that how much I've improved.
Yeah, I mean, I look at your iRating now.
Agreed.
Sorry?
Hard agree on that one.
Yeah, hard agree, yeah. You look at your iRating now, and you're up to 2,745. I mean, that's very much Pro-Am category.
Yeah.
Very healthy numbers, that. And the Audi clearly suits you, and your style is very suited to that car. And Sam, when you see drivers like Dan, and they've started off in the AM class, and we've seen it before, haven't we, with certain racers? They develop that race strategy, that race craft, that race skill. It's not just because you're in one of our leagues, but league racing does that to people, doesn't it, Sam? It's one of those situations where you just feel safe. You can learn lines, and Daniel's a clear evidence that happens.
Exactly. Dan, if you can teach Pete how to improve himself, feel free to do it. No, honestly, you've done a nice season, and clearly you're right up there with the Pro-Am now. So that's really good, and I will agree with what Pete said. I think league racing is not all, but I think it helps you a lot. What do you think?
Oh, for sure. So I do the Tuesday night TCR with just average racing every week. So that gives the practice for the Wednesday. But I do put it down to, so this is my 3rd season. So racing with the same people, knowing who's faster, who you can let go and then follow. And that's one of the things that I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you learn off the faster guys. So, yeah, it's much better in league racing than just doing officials.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing for a lot of developing drivers is you've got to come back week after week and race the same people. You don't want to piss them off because they can make your life a misery.
So I've discovered that Steve Walker, when I hit him, he's forgot about it, but I've still got it in my head.
Right, yeah.
And straight away I looked at the scores and I'm like, please don't be really close. Because that's in my head that I ruined his race that night.
Yeah, yeah. and those things do sit with you. You know, you remember them forever. But you've had a fantastic season. Who do you want to shout out to? Where do you thanks go for taking that trip?
I've got a couple.
Get a certificate. You need to send me your address, by the way, on a private DM. Don't put it in a public channel. And I can send you your certificate out. It's got a lovely, massive, because there's a funny story about that, massive gold sticker on the front. You're going to love it. It's going to be great.
Okay, well, a couple more seasons and I might receive a bit of wood. You never know.
Well, yeah, why not?
No, so my thanks go out to yourself, Pete.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Go out to you and Sam for all the stuff you've done. Definitely to Jay, because a lot of help has come from his trek guides. And so I've watched them every week as well, the help. The only thing that I would like is to put the brake biases on every week. And and obviously just average racing, that's helped doing that on Tuesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
And my teammates.
Right, very well said. Look at that, Jay. You have contributed to the development of one of our fastest racers.
Fantastic. I love hearing that. Brake biases are on the intro. I'm sure I put the values I use on those, but I pretty much use the fixed value.
Oh, I just skip to the Audi bit. I don't need to watch the other cars. I don't need to see those other cars, so I don't go in them.
Hey, there you
That's
go.
fair enough. Okay, fine. I don't have a response to that one then.
Cool. In that case, thanks for your massive contribution to this season, Dan. It's been a pleasure watching your development over a number of seasons, and great to see you being in the thick of that Pro-Am series. We'll hopefully see you return to fight against them.
My question was, when can I register?
Well, when I've created the season. So there was some website development going on from Sam. Sam's magic fingers have been working furiously.
That's what she said.
Oh, yes,
I've seen.
Did. Oh, yeah. They've been working furiously, and only recently has it been available to me to start creating seasons again. So that will be soon, but I can't give you a day, but I will announce it full in the main chat in our Discord. So keep your eyes on that. But great to hear that you're coming back. We look forward to seeing you racing next season. Our new AM class champion, Dan Lewis, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Nearly forgot what I was pressing then. Right. We have probably got just enough time to do one more. Who should we have out of the crew that's waiting? Sam, who would you like to speak
Why not
to?
all of them?
All of them, let's do it. Right.
Oh boy, that's going to be interesting.
You said it first. That's good evening to Paul Hurley.
Hello.
Good evening to Fiona.
Evening.
Evening. Good evening to Chris.
Good evening.
Evening. So, it's getting a bit crowded in this room, mind. If you can all just...
Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, yeah.
A bit squashed.
Just
God.
can we not fart like you did last time, Jay? Because that was just a bit much,
Don't touch the wood. Just
Yeah.
be
Bacon
careful.
Whoa.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Bacon
It's
sandwiches.
already claimed by Wobbly.
Oh, dear. So, Paul, first of all, talk us through your race. You finished, was it third in class? No, fourth in class, wasn't it? It was Dan, then Rob, then Deck, then you. Is that right?
No, well, Dick's a pro-am.
Oh, no,
Rob
Deck's
Sutton
pro-am.
doesn't. Rob Sutton doesn't count because he's
Yeah, he's
not
sneaky.
been
That put
in
me
for the whole
third then.
season.
You what?
Saying if Rob doesn't count, does that put me third?
No, it doesn't. Try again.
Rob was a casual. He don't count. So I'm saying I'm second in class.
Right, okay, fair enough. Second in the points score in the class, definitely.
Yes.
Nice, tidy race overall. Didn't see any kerfuffles unless I missed them, which is entirely possible because I was on the cameras. You've had a great season as well, a very tidy season. A couple of incidents along the route, but ultimately, I'm just having a quick look at the standings to figure out where you've ended up.
Second in AMS.
Second, yeah, because Chris, I don't think you've scored enough points tonight. No way.
No.
To overhaul the difference there. It was 33 points, is it? Yeah. 33 points was the difference, and you won't have. Well, he's only pulled away from you, really, hasn't he? And yourself, Chris. Again, solid season. Third step on that podium. Certificate to come your way. For both of you. It's been one of the best seasons for racing, in my opinion. Let me get Chris's car on the screen so everybody knows who we're talking about. To come second and third in the AM Class Championship is a real battle these days. Dan, you'll be glad to know, will move up into Pro-Am next season. And
Got a plan, hasn't he? I'll stay in AMS if I change car. Don't buy into all that.
Yeah, no.
Paul said he wants to move up to Pro-Am with him.
Oh, stop trying to make room, Fee. Stop trying to make room. But there's plenty of names in this championship. There was 16 signed up, only 13 actually raced, and then 12 that raced multiple times. It's good, healthy numbers in the AM class. At one time it was quite a small field. Now it's a much more developed affair, with some really good battles going on. So let me get Fee's car on the screen so we can all see that one as well. And Fee, you've it's been a bit of a rough ride this evening. Did you pop up for tyres? I can't remember.
No,
you didn't. But others did.
On the start, I went down the inside of somebody and got squeezed into the pit wall. So the first stint, I was driving down the straight. I was turning right.
Ah, okay.
So
that was Deck, and it wasn't his fault. I was on his outside. He clipped me, and then it was completely innocent. He caught my back end. He backed out, but it pushed him into you.
Yeah, no, I wasn't blaming anybody.
No.
I struggled on until I got to a pit stop window. You probably noticed I pitted early for me.
Yeah, we noted that actually, and we thought some thought there might have been a fuel thing going on in there, which was entirely possible given the window at which you had pitted. It was after the 15-minute mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you can see it on your car there that you're doing a lot of steering. Oh, that's a lot of steering input. You're going to tie your arms together in a minute. So yeah, that's a lot of lock on that wheel. Absolutely, that's something that's very much going to impede your progress. Have you enjoyed the season though, Fee?
It's been a good season, and everybody's race fair for the most part, and it's great fun.
Awesome stuff. Anybody
go on. I think I've said it before. This is one of the best and one of the toughest leagues I've ever raced in.
Oh wow! Well, that's great to hear. I have to say, absolutely fantastic to hear. That's the sort of thing that we really do want to hear. It makes our effort, and there's quite a lot of effort goes in, more than worthwhile. So thanks. Anybody you want to shout out to at the end of this season 20? And you've been in how many seasons now? God, this must be your 10th
Oh,
season
no.
or more.
Lost count.
Yeah. But who do you want to thank?
Well, you guys, everybody who does all the work in the background to make it all possible for us. Congratulations to the champions, apart from Wobbly, of course.
Yeah, obviously. Well said. We're
Um,
going to give Fee some extra points at the end of this. So.
and a big shout out for me teammates.
Right. Very good. And Chris, same question for you. You came third in the championship, which is no small feat. Who do you want to shout out to and share your celebrations with?
Yeah, it was a hard fought battle, and it was fair. Most of the racing throughout the season's always been fair. So yeah, I'd like to thank yourselves for putting the show on, and everybody in the background, like Fee said, and obviously all the AMs that I was racing with. Had some good battles with Paul. Had some really good battles with Chesney as well. Just unfortunately, Dan had pulled away by the end, and we were nowhere near him. So yeah, it was really good. So yeah, and thanks to the team for supporting us right through. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been anywhere near. So I definitely wouldn't have got third. So yeah, just thanks to everyone.
Brilliant. And Paul, best of the rest after Dan in that particular category of cars. It's not easy being consistent, even in I'm going to say it. Forgive the language I use. I don't know. In the slower of the categories, it's still individually a challenge to stay and maintain a consistent standard, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, I had quite a good battle with Jamie Wilson at the end of the first race last week. That was fun. I was quite enjoyed keeping him behind. But I just wanted to say, like, I felt a bit bad for Chris tonight because him and Deckard are coming together, and that allowed me just to sort of extend on the fuel. I saved a bit, and I actually went in and changed tyres as well. So it was quite a relaxing night for me tonight. But I would have rather had a good battle with him. So it's been good all season. Mr. Lewis, I mean. Yeah, he's really picked up the pace. I actually think you should say he's not allowed in the Audi, and he's definitely going to Pro-Ams next season.
I agree.
Shout out to you guys, Jay, Pete, and Sam there, who put everything together, and the commentary is great. And thanks for getting the points up so quickly as well. That was good to see. And I like the Safe Driver Award. I think that's a good way to do it with the points coming off. That encourages the safe driving. So. Yes, really good. And I think the standout moment for me was probably that Dex winning in the wet at the Nürburgring Combined. That was amazing.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's one of the standout wins for me. And Mr. Lewis regularly pushing along up there in the Pro-Ams where he belongs. And all the championships were close when a lot of them come down to the wire. So that's exactly what we want in the league. So good standards. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So I wanted to say thank you. And I'll definitely be back next season.
Awesome, that's great to hear. Right, in that case, go on.
So well done, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. Well done.
Cool. Right, in order. Paul Hurley, great having you racing. Look forward to seeing you next season, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Chris Dixon, same for you. Thanks for racing with us. It's been a pleasure, and we will hopefully see you this time next season, fighting it out for yet another podium position in the AM class.
Yeah, you definitely will. I'll be there. And thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Good stuff. Night. And finally, Fee. We again look forward to seeing you this time next season, and hopefully you'll be back. You've not got ice hockey until September, have you?
I haven't, no.
Right.
My mother's took a turn for the worse just lately, so I might miss a few through the summer, depending on how she is.
Right. Well, we wish her the very best.
I'll do my best to get in anyway.
Okay. Yeah. We know you got some individual challenges, but hopefully she's doing as well as she can. I'm sure she will do. And we will see you this time next season, hopefully. Fiona Siddons.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Right, guys. That's the end of season 20. It's gone really quick for me. It's been a massively new season on a number of fronts. So I've done a few little changes in the background in terms of calculating drop weeks properly and things like that. But in the foreground, obviously, Jay has stepped into massive shoes. I'm not saying that Alan Toon had like size 16 feet, but you know, the responsibilities that come with being in the booth, even as a secondary, are difficult. The co-commentators, but you've led broadcast this season, which is remarkable, and you've done it so naturally that if I could give you the Driver of the Meeting award tonight, I honestly would do. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think every time we do an endurance race, they will be sponsored by Jaycaulls Track Guides. You do a fantastic job for the community, and you've heard it firsthand tonight, so you should feel extraordinarily proud. I'm proud to have you in the booth, and I'm very, very pleased that you are here each week. I think it's worked very well this season. I don't know what your thoughts are there, but you know, I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you for your incredible contribution. I know you don't drink, so there's no scotch coming your way, but let's hope we can get you some viewership by plugging your channel, because you do fantastic stuff. It's really good.
Thank you. That means a lot, and a massive thank you to you and the rest for allowing me this opportunity to do something a little bit different on my Wednesday nights, and I've absolutely loved it. I got a bit scared for Thruxton, the solo in, but no, we all came through it, and we didn't get the channel banned, so that's a thumbs up from me. And yeah, no, at the end of the day, with the track guides and everything else, I just want more people to be picking up the series. These cars are absolutely amazing. We've seen for the last 12 weeks how good the Bastion can be with the right group of people, and hopefully if you lot will allow me here again next season, then I can't wait for it.
Oh, you've got a permanent invitation. It's like I say, brilliant having you in the booth. And Sam, thanks for joining us on quite a few races this season. You know, you're already putting masses of effort in the background. You know, the things that people can't see, and usually it's those sort of people that make it possible for all these racers to be on the track, doing their thing, enjoying their race, and all the viewers to watch it. So again, many thanks for another season's worth of contribution on both leagues. You know, it's not just reserved for TCR. Hopefully you'll come and do this again for whatever races you'd like to next season. It's great having 3 in the booth for me. It gives a real good dynamic. We've got a difficult decision now, though. I think we've got to choose racer of the evening, and I saw some really good performances tonight. Obviously there's the wobbly thing, kept his cool. There's a lot of pressure associated with doing what he did tonight. He could have gone terribly wrong. Any back markers that he encountered after his one pit stop could have ruined his race. Any of the fast drivers could have pushed him too hard. So that's a good one to vote for. Pete Newman and Stephen Walker took it to him. Obviously Stephen Walker was playing the team game in there, so you could easily give him the driver of the meeting for that. Jamie Jeffrey drove out of his skin. Tony Walker did brilliantly to get top of his class, as did Dan, but Dan's had that a few times, and we now know that he's going to move forward. I liked what Jaden Scotton did tonight. He did some good overtakes. He was a nice competitive driver. He pressed and he pushed, and so did Carl Hardy. And JB had a great race evening. And I think tonight JB is going to get my vote. He did a really good qualifying session. He kept it nice and clean. He got one of his best performances of the season. He dropped 1 position throughout the race, but you know that's nothing really. And did it all without changing tyres. I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to get you the vote, but I liked what JB did tonight. I thought it was really good and very professional of him. So JB's getting my vote. Sam, after my little synopsis there, have you got any secrets that you're going to pull out of the hat?
No secrets. I was conflicted between two drivers, and as you picked one of the two, I'm gonna pick the other one. Thank you for making my call a bit easier. You will not like it, but I think what Wobbly did today was impressive.
Oh my god! Right.
Yeah, I know. I don't feel good about that either, but I will give mine to Wobbly for the. He's the only one that actually did one stopper today, and yeah.
Okay. It's forgivable, given that it's the last race of the season and there's a fortnight between now and the race again, so I can forget about what you've done in that time. And that means that I've already put those scores on, by the way, so you don't duplicate them. That puts Wobbly on 2 and JB on the 1 for this season. And Jay, where's your vote going to go? Could be a very valuable vote, this, by the way.
It could be, absolutely. I'm going to keep within the spirit that I'm very disappointed in both of you, because Wobbly's only had 2 votes this season, and they've come from each of you. And I'm a man of principle. I'm a man who puts my values pretty well high, so I am absolutely steering clear of the Wobbly train right now. My vote is actually going to go to someone who I don't think was mentioned at all, just purely on the fact that during this last race of the season, we've already seen how hard it is to get overtakes done on this circuit. I'm going to go with somebody who has navigated their way through 5 changes in position, starting the race in 16th, going up to 11th. Jura Laakkonen is going to be getting my vote for tonight for just getting the most amount of overtakes and the biggest positive in the standings count.
Brilliant. Okay.
Excellent call.
It is a good call. It's very, very carefully selected and good reason for a vote. I like that.
Imagine voting for Wobbly. Jesus.
I know.
Yeah, can I change? Can I change?
No, it's too late. It's already in. Right? You're both traitors to the BSTV name.
Yeah, so very, very quickly.
Yeah, and he's not even racing for a BSTV team. Can you imagine that?
I know. Crazy.
Anyway.
So Freddie van Eekhoven has won the driver of the meeting trophy for season 20. Another Hydro Race Racing Forces driver. Wobbly won the Pro Championship by, 43 points in the end. In the Pro-Ams, Michael Hall was your victor by 48 points in the end. Daniel Lewis won by 1 million points in AN class, roughly, if you carry the 1. Team Championship was won by Hydro Race Geodesic Racing, and that is official now, by not very much at all, about 60 points. And then the Safe Driver Award is the only one we've not heard from, and that stays at the minute with Dec Crowther. He was the safest driver in this series, 71 incidents and 5,911 total turns in the season. So well done to Dec Crowther, because that is probably, I think, one of the cleanest seasons I've seen. Now Dale Bennison is second, and I'll just read these numbers out. Dec Crowther, his total incidents per turn was 0.01201. Dale Bennison, 0.01268. It's absolutely terrifying how close that is. So that's how good this series is, folks. Nice and safe, very competitive, wholly enjoyable. Thank you to everybody that's watched this season. Thank you to everybody that's contributed in the chat, either in this race or across the season. Thanks to all the racers that have contributed. Hopefully we'll bring some more teams back and some new teams into season 21. Watch your social media for any announcements around those sort of points. Thanks to you two for being in the booth with me all season. Alan has had a great replacement in the form of Jaycaulls, and big boots to fill, like I said before, but it's been done. Stay safe, everybody. We need you here in order to watch us or race next season, and I'll hand over to the other guys to say their goodbyes. But from me, for season 20, it's goodbye.
And thank you everybody for tuning in over the past 12 weeks. It's been an absolute pleasure and honour being in the seats that Sir Alan has sat in. The boots, I'll never be able to fill them, but you know what? That's absolutely fine. Thank you all for watching. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully if you're watching this thinking, should I get into this league? Well, let me tell it for you. Absolutely, and we will see you onto the track next season.
Thanks, Jay. And nobody thanked him enough, but Pete deserves a really round of applause because he's put in an amazing job to provide this league to everybody when times have been hard for everybody at BSTV. So, Pete, thank you very much. Your work is really appreciated. I will try to make your life even easier in the future, but yeah. We'll try to make it work, and everybody, we'll see you in 2 weeks for the first round of season 21 of the BSTV TCR Challenge Cup.
Thanks, Sam. See you next season, everyone.